to the 6, we be in the mix. With that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane, by to visit Glen Rock. Need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix. With that rare candy paint job on the whip, who you with?
Oh man, I thought I was getting a positive omen today because I was in a diner. Yeah, a little upscale. It's a little more upscale than the one Tony Soprano was meeting his family in a very controversial series finale of the show Sopranos that we're going to be talking about. But I was in a kind of an upscale diner having lunch. It was really hot, and all of a sudden I'm looking at the diner menu, and Journey's "Don't Stop Believing" is playing, and I'm looking around. No members only jackets. That would have been crazy if there was a guy with members only jacket.
Bad sign.
It would have been a bad sign. So I thought that was going to happen. Tech issues. Let's be real. We had tech issues. All these things happening, starting a half hour late. Just awful stuff. But the show must go on, guys.
Absolutely.
This was like a pilot. Like we put a pilot together, and they're like, "Hey, the show must go on." You know.
Absolutely. Got to roll with it.
Yeah. So I'm here with Vince Nappy, and he is really he's a soldier for this because he's seen this a million times. But it's tough to talk about something at length if you saw it 4 or 5 years ago. There's things you miss. There's stuff you find every rewatch. But I put out my feelers. I said, is anyone down to talk about The Sopranos with me? Within 5 seconds, it happens. Was already tasked with the Tropic of Cancer. But I think we're talking about one of the best shows ever and one of your favorite authors in the same month. Not bad. It's
a bumper crop of podcasts.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't want to waste any time because there's so much to discuss.
Oh boy.
Tell me your history with this show by David Chase's The Sopranos. Tell me your history. I mean, did you watch it live? Did you pick it up later? What happened?
So my experience initially with the show was just hearing my father laugh maniacally in the living room while I just heard, F-bombs dropped one after the other and sounds of awful violence. And so as a child, I was bewildered because I was too young to be watching it when it was on.
Yeah.
And, then I guess in my late teens or early 20s, I saw it, and the humor and the profundity of The Sopranos, the greatest show of all time, made itself readily apparent.
It is the greatest show of all time. I mean, it's weird because it's memed to death. I've been doing a lot of things that have been memed to death lately, but the reason something gets memed to death is typically because it's good. You know, like it's the problem with our society is that we have just a meat tenderizer. Of the way we consume cultural. I mean, we pound it out like just dead horses, everything. But I'm the same way. I'm born in 1990. The show comes out in 99, I think. No chance. There's no way. You call CPS if you're showing your 9-year-old kid Sopranos.
Trauma. You'd be giving them trauma for life.
Would have been wasted on me too. I wouldn't have been able to appreciate the Bada Bing strippers or anything like that. I mean, come on, 9 years old. I wouldn't have understood any of the humor. And I remember my dad and my mom. We lived in a small duplex, one unit of a duplex. And it would be whatever we were watching because it was Sunday night baseball's on or something. They go, hey, go watch it in the TV in the room.
Right.
And so they had a hall door plus the door, and they're like, close both doors, And I was like, okay. They're watching it live. During the first season, it got buzz, but it's not what it was by seasons 5, 6, and 7 by far. But I've always wanted. I've been intimidated to talk about this for the longest time. I couldn't get Cy to watch it. Not that he doesn't want to. It's a commitment. I mean, you got to watch. It's hour-long episodes, and there's essentially 7 seasons. And it's but I rewatched it with my wife recently because I was bugging her. I said, hey, every 5 years or so, I have to watch this. She goes, all right, put it on. She's locked in the minute we rewatch it.
Oh, of course.
I just remember getting after once I was about 15 or 16, my dad was like, I think you could rent the DVDs from Blockbuster. And then he goes, yeah, let's go get the DVDs. Like, I'll watch it with you. You know, it's time. You know, it's like, it was almost the birds and the bees talk.
You're a man now, son.
You're a man now, son.
Sopranos.
I watched the first season and it's good, but I'm like, this is like a comedy. This is analyze this. This is like HBO's analyze this. Like, funny, sure. What's the hubbub? Of course, you're locked in. All the twists and turns it takes, all of the rebrands that it does in a sense, all the moving parts around it that create this incredible show that really doesn't have any down moments, despite what people say. And really not at all, especially. So fast forward again, my second rewatch was back when Netflix was like hard copies. I rented it again from the Netflix hard copy thing, like one disc at a time. Then I believe my wife, when we first met, she, for a present or some sort of Christmas, bought me the big box set, the big massive Sopranos box set, which I do still have to this day. Rewatched it with her. I watched it with her for the first time on that. And she liked it. She liked it a lot, but it didn't stay in her DNA the way it did for me. We move into our new place. We rewatched it again. This is about another 5 years after that. You're sensing a theme here. 5 years, 5 years, 5 years.
Goes in cycles.
He's in cycles. She rewatched it again. She goes, guys, this show's really good. Finally, we rewatched it again. I think she was like, holy crap, this is a masterpiece. Like, she's like, this is finally, it took her 3 times to watch it through. But that's, I mean, and I was just so floored by how good, how reactionary it is. That really sticks out now, is how reactionary.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only, as you said, the more you see it, the better it seems to get, which to me sounds like the epitome of something that is a masterwork, because it only unveils its secrets the more and more that you pour over it. And The Sopranos absolutely does that. It just gets better and better. And the more other media that you consume, just the better it stacks up against everything else. And I think it really does kind of sit with a crown on its head as the best piece of television ever made.
And for so many reasons too. I mean, I've spent the last, I never did. So Sopranos became very popular again in 2020 because it was kind of a show that everyone forgot about.
Right.
Not forgot about, but just some people were too young for the time, whatever. And then they go, okay, I'll watch that show. Right. I'll check it out for the first time. Even older. I knew people even my age and older were like watching it for the first time and went, whoa, like, okay, yeah, this is right. Meanwhile, the actors, Michael Imperioli and Steven Sherpa, Bobby Bacala and Chris Moltisanti, they start their own show called Talking Sopranos. I never listened to it when it came out. I never listened to that when it was around during COVID. However, I checked it out now. They go episode by episode, and I gotta say, it's nothing that they're doing wrong, but the magic is lost when you hear about like all of the, and remember that guy, the showrunner that brought the sandwiches? That guy, I mean, dude, you're Chris Moltisanti, you're Bobby Bacala. Do the episode as that. Like, I don't want to hear your guys's.
That would be funny.
Yeah,
if they did it in character, just commenting on each episode.
But yeah, obviously, but they broke the fourth wall so much that I was like, guys, you don't get it, like how good your characters were. Like, your characters were so good that it's like, it's tough but the good part is about this is they would get an actor from the show on and chat with them for like the first 30 minutes of the show, and that was really nice. And they talked about how they got the part, what they were doing before Sopranos, how it changed their life. Really interesting answers, because the show itself, there's not a lot of really famous people in the show.
No.
In 1999, James Gandolfini is a character actor. Edie Falco's on Oz, you know, doing plays.
Lorraine Bracco would probably be the best known person on the cast at that point.
She was the star. She was the star of the show, and originally she read for Carmela.
That would have been interesting.
She read for Carmela, but she said, and you know, she pulled kind of I played a crazy Italian woman. I
don't want to be the wife again.
She was like, anytime I see an Italian woman on TV, which is partially true, it's kind of oh my Lord, oh gosh, like, you know, just this like constantly aghast, constantly yelling.
She wanted to play against stereotype.
Yeah, you're thinking Talia Shire in The Godfather,
Yeah.
like all of these people. She says, I like this psychiatrist character, and they're like, well, it's not going to be that big part of the show. Like, this is the thing. This is TV. It's so much like go on the fly. The show is made by the casting a lot of times,
right?
And stuff. But she reads for that, ends up being perfect. But yeah, guys like Michael Imperioli, character actor, minor roles here and there. Steven Sherpa was a club promoter and a stand-up guy. I think stand-up comic in Vegas. He was making good money. He was like, I gotta go. I guess I'll take this job, but I'm taking a pay cut, right?
Worked out for him long term.
Dominic Chianese, right? He's in Godfather 2. Not a whole lot else.
No.
He was living on in his 60s before The Sopranos, living in a loft with one little like a bachelor, almost like glorified air mattress kind of stuff. And this changed his life. You're talking about your 60s, you know what I mean? Doing that, like these guys, this shouldn't have worked.
No, none. Yeah, I mean, my God, that's he's got 2 decades on Henry Miller there so far as late life comebacks.
He is very Henry Miller. You're right. He looks like
he could have done a Henry Miller.
Oh, that would have been awesome. In the 70s, if he played Henry Miller, that would have been awesome. Because he has a really interesting kind of folksy background. He used to work at, and people who are Bob Dylan heads are going to know this and what this is. I don't know, but it was a folk club in New York in the probably late 60s.
No
stuff.
shit.
Dylan, he was kind of the Dominic Chianese, Junior Soprano, was kind of the MC of that place, and he could sing a little too, so he'd get up there and do a little number.
Well, they get him singing in the show once
right.
he
right. So it's insane the amount of people that are in here, and it's just a lot of people that you've seen in like the back of Casino, the movie, the back of Carlito's Way, where I'm speaking of Pussy Bompin' Sore. He's in Carlito's Way as one of the Italians, just towards the end. It's all of those people, but giving them really deep, complex characters, and you're basically a plan truster for David Chase the entire time.
And it worked out for all of them.
You got and why would you trust a guy who like isn't that prolific either, right? David Chase at the time, he wrote for the original Mission Impossible, the show. He's
wow. That's
how old he is. And you're talking about another guy who's probably in his 50s or something, and he's like, I want to do one last thing, and then we'll see. It's kind of one last score on this that we're gonna do, and boy, did it ever.
Do you know how he wound up running the show? Was it just because HBO was still pretty new in terms of the television they wanted to put out, so they let this relative unknown shepherd this thing in?
I think HBO needed a hit. Now, I think, but it's weird because like mob movie, they're like, okay, mob movies. This guy's from New Jersey, David Chase. He's got all these characters. The script seems very funny and good. Their hit show at the time was like Arliss on HBO, which is, it's not a hit. It's pretty good. Robert Wool. It's a sports agent show. It's a very quirky comedy. It's not. HBO does not have all the. I don't even think Sex. I think Oz is there, which is a great show, but it's Oz. I don't even know if Sex and the City started yet at this time. I'm not an expert there, but
99. It was probably around the same time.
Right around the same time. So HBO kind of was like, look, we got slots to fill, and we need something to stick. And so David Chase writes this or puts this show together. It's, I guess, a lot of the last names are last names of people he knew growing up. Moltisanti, Baccaliari, like all of these people are just composite characters. And guess what, guys? David Chase, he had a weird relationship with his mom. His mom, kind of a bitch.
We're going to get you right back to the episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode.
There's a Lydia Soprano echo going on there. Wasn't he involved in psychiatry himself? And was that something that found its way into the show, obviously, in a big way?
Him and Lorraine Bracco bonded over, I guess they were both in psychiatry, you know,
Okay.
they both had seen shrinks before. So basically they were both like, look, we want it to be this way. It needs to be like this. We don't want it to be over the top. We want it to kind of brood and kind of be subtle, like kind of just mundane, but you know, and then lash out. But, you know, getting into the, you know, so much of that is interesting, and, you know, who better to listen to than the people who made the show? They'll tell you everything. You can learn everything you want to know from the David Chase documentary on HBO Max, Talking Sopranos. It's not really a Sopranos podcast, but what the hell else are they going to talk about? It's Jamie Lynn Sigler and Robert Eiler.
Yeah, right. They haven't done
a
anything
Sopranos
else.
show. It's like, what else are you going to listen? All your fans are Sopranos people.
Right.
So they can tell you everything, and we'll get back and forth. I want to talk about the characters on the screen. I think I'm so stupid that I'm like, no, these are all. No, I want to talk about Johnny Sacrimoni, not Vincent Curatola. Johnny Sacrimoni. That's a real person to me. You know, like these are real people.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the testament to how well it was written and how well it was acted. Is that the fact that you can look at all these people and you stick with them for the 6 odd seasons, and you go, my God, they're real. These are all the best roles that any of these actors have or ever will play. Period. End of story. You can't top it, because each of them had an arc, as Christopher was saying. What's my arc, Paulie? What's my arc? All of them have an arc. All of them have a story that has a beginning and a middle and an end that is reached through the show, and each of them is tremendously complex. It's not a single person there is one-sided or just a pure caricature. And as you travel with them through the story, that makes itself readily apparent. And that richness and that lived-in world is incredible. And that's just what keeps you coming back again and again and again. And your favorite characters change the more you watch it. You know, your judgment of their motives and their actions changes the more and more that you watch it.
Right.
You know, and it's funny.
It's terrible. I mean, comedy-wise, and what's funny is that, like I said, the first season is like pretty outright comedy. The pilot, rewatching the pilot, it's so silly. The pilot, and it's good, but it's Tony when he drives up onto the lawn and starts beating the guy up like in public, whereas it's so much more covert later. It's so much more like, get him to follow you here, get him to
right. But now we're just going to ride up on this car park in the middle of this office building and kick the crap out of this accountant.
Yeah, Junior with the pussy eating. I mean, this is all classic stuff, but it's like it's a complete tone shift after they go, oh, I have a hit. This is a hit show. Now I get to really make these people. You know, it becomes a completely different show, because for a while it's like, well, we got to make people laugh. We got to make, we got to have all of these things, like all the stuff that gets people interested in the show. And then after that, it gets really dark. It gets sad. It gets invested. But one fallacy I want to get out of the way, because there have been a lot of, not to politicize this show, but I mean, what is it? There's a lot of like leftists now that really like Sopranos. Big time. You go see any kind of big account on the internet, it's typically run by like a left-leaning person, like a Bernie type person. Fine, everybody can watch it. It's fine, like, no problem. I'm not necessarily saying these people justify it this way, but I've heard a lot of people who are very supportive of the current thing, the current ideology and stuff. Even Michael Imperioli himself, who is like the turbo lib.
He's an old school New York theater fag. So.
My gosh. He said right-wing people cannot watch The Sopranos or White Lotus. I'm like, do you even know what show you're in?
This guy, his head is up his own ass, unfortunately.
Oh, and you want to talk about jump scares? listening to that Talking Sopranos, it's like during the height of COVID.
Yeah,
And
I remember when it came out.
yeah, and it's like, look, I'm not holding anybody to what they said back then. Nobody knew what was happening, but my
Right.
gosh, like they're like, I'm scared to be around the microphone, Bobby. You know, or just like, you know, just these like.
Hey,
But
we
anyways,
got Adriana. We got Adriana Lacerva. Okay.
we do, and guess
Yeah.
who's not? Guess who is not invited on the Talking Sopranos podcast? Was never
Really?
Drea De Matteo
Wow.
and Vincent Curatola. Guess what political ideology those two people?
Hey, my namesake comes through. He follows me on Twitter, by the way.
That's so awesome. Like his Twitter is straight Fox News boomer. I love it.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
He'll be like, AOC, are you dumb?
Yeah,
that's what his stuff is, and it's great. And why would it be anything else?
I love it.
So, but one fallacy about The Sopranos is that you're supposed to hate these people. You're supposed to hate them.
Hard to do.
There's like 3 people I hate in the show, and it's clearly people that are villains.
Right.
Like, you are going for Tony Soprano every time. There is no point in the show where you want him to lose, to die, to go to jail, to even have a bad day.
Right.
You are like foam finger, go team Tony Soprano
Number one.
the entire time, and you're complicit in every single act that he does because this is war. He is a gladiator. And there's constant references to generals. He's constantly on TV watching generals, gladiators.
He's a History Channel buff when History Channel was the World War II channel.
Exactly.
Yes.
He would watch all of that stuff because it's literally you're taking barbaric gladiator culture. It's like Blood Meridian level and putting it into late 90s Y2K era technology where they're starting to realize that maybe there's things that get used against them, you know, and it's tough to see. But we don't want Agent Harris to win. Agent Harris is horrible, and he's eating disgusting sandwiches and burping. He can't digest anything. He has like stomach parasites from fighting.
Agent Harris winds up liking them.
He loves them because he just starts working in terrorism, which guess who's not cool? Guess your subject is not cool. It's a terrorist in the Middle East. Nobody thinks those guys are cool. Well, some people do, but you know, like he's like, at least Tony's like, well, let me get the salami sandwich on the house. That was
exactly.
A Russian guy's ear, you know.
He takes, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend in this case.
Yeah. So, man, let's free flow. Let's fire away at these things. There's no way to go chronological. Just whatever comes up, comes up. Tony, we'll just have to start with Tony because it all runs through him. You can Tony is not my favorite character. However, he's objectively the best character.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because each episode is ultimately about him. So he is. Yeah. I mean, but wait a minute. Hold on. He's not your favorite character.
I'm a Chris guy.
You're a Chris Moltisanti fan?
I love Chris Moltisanti.
All right.
I mean, I love him. Johnny Sack this go round was unreal. Like I don't think I understood. I don't think I took the Johnny Sack pill. This time. Now these guys again, you could kill them and the show goes on. Tony is the guy. Like obviously he's the guy. Like it's just. And, you know, more or less, like, you know, you're talking about like objective winners and losers. Like he's the winner of the show. I mean, he is the.
Does he? I don't know. Don't stop believing, man. This, you know.
I have a take on that. That's an interesting thing with that. But nonetheless, he's out. He survives Ralph Cifaretto, Richie Aprile. He survives the whole Junior. He survives Junior.
Shot.
Yeah, he survives and the first season. He survives his mom and Junior, conspiring to kill him.
And a carjacking. Oh man,
carjacking. So he does win, and he survived. I mean, the Rico case, like so much of that stuff. You know, for the time being, within the scope of the show, he wins. I do like Chris because I just think he's comedically great, and his spiral, he's like this Dostoevskian character, this like Dmitry Karamazov, like just insane, like brute, spiraling brute. Who, I mean, he's very sensitive.
I was going to say he's a sensitive brute.
He's a sensitive brute.
Yeah.
And just his like relationship with Tony, the true father son, you know, the true father son, even though they're probably not that I think Michael Imperioli is like 3 years younger than him. But
Oh my god! In real life, that's so funny.
it is. James Gandolfini was only 51 when he died.
Yeah, I know, which is absurd. Yeah, he died way too young.
He looked terrible. I mean, he really did. Like from the first, when you look at the first season.
Oh yeah, he aged so much.
Oh, I mean, it was like 2 presidential terms, basically, is what it seemed like when you see him at the beginning and the end, like Obama. When you see what Obama looked like after it, like
God.
it's just like they look. I mean, and why wouldn't he though, right? Like, why wouldn't Tony look like that at the end of Sopranos?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean, you carry around that kind of stress. I don't know. There's been a lot of hay made about the hole that he dug himself into playing that character, and
right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's true because it fucking killed him. So, but yeah, but I mean, Chris is an amazing character.
Yeah.
You want to root for him, but his consistent, just total self-sabotage paired with these, this bizarrely touching sentimentality that he'll come back with, and the true love and affection that he bears for Tony, and you're on a yo-yo and a seesaw with him from start to finish.
Yeah, and he does the most honorable thing I think anybody in the show does, and that's give up your own wife because she's a rat bitch.
Yeah,
I mean, like, and Tony, probably the worst part about Tony, in my opinion, like the part where I disagree with him the most. Is when Chris brings it up, like, come on, T, I need this. Like, I gave up Adrian. He acts like it's nothing. Oh, well, she was a rat. It's nothing. It's like, hey, that's not nothing, Tony. Would you give up Carmela? I don't think he probably would, but well, I don't know. That's actually a tough.
No, I don't think he would.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so, I don't think he would.
Yeah,
it's so true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. God, it's. Yeah, I mean, again, another testament to the show's greatness is that it makes you struggle with these questions.
Yeah.
And really makes you think about your own boundaries of what is and isn't acceptable, what is and isn't, good, quote unquote. And you keep in mind through this whole show that, as Tony says, he's like, I'm a soldier. When you do this, when you're in this game, you accept that there are certain rules.
Yeah.
And that everyone that winds up getting killed or, grievously injured, they are all agreeing participants in this game that they are all playing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and through the show, he doesn't, there's no civilians that go and get hurt intentionally unless they, they're fucking with something big. Even Artie Bucco, right? Who he could, if Artie Bucco was any other person.
Yeah.
Artie would have gotten killed, or he would have had his knees busted,
Janice. I mean, you think if Janice is not his sister, and Janice is just like, let's say she's Feach Lamanna's wife,
right?
You know what I mean?
Immediately cut out.
Because you look at it, right? You look at family, like it's kind of crazy that Tony has this duality with family, like he would never let anything happen to Carmela, despite like punching through the drywall.
Yes.
He would never want any of this to happen, even though they have a brutal, ostensibly separation for a little bit of time. But you think about too, he's walking through the hospital in season 1 with the pillow over his mom, ready to take his mom out. He never does. There's that great scene. Apparently, he was supposed to kill her, which that doesn't work. That doesn't
not in public and not like that. No.
No, and it also just that's the final unslayable dragon is the mom, and the specter of her lives throughout the whole season. So if he's killed his own mom, but then she's haunting him through the rest of the series, I understand, like, you could do a Telltale Heart thing, but he's not some beta Edgar Allan Poe protagonist that's I'm scared of my mom. No, like if he killed her, that would show this kind of like, I slayed the dragon. He never slayed the dragon of his mom.
That's why he's in therapy through the whole show.
Right. Therapy was like therapy too. Like this was like, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of just giving people Zoloft when they're feeling a certain kind of way, but not everyone was in it. It wasn't just given to 19-year-old people as a default thing.
Right. Well, you see that with AJ in the final episodes when when AJ's character arc finally hits a wall. But yeah, I mean, and we see how medication works out for Tony when he is trying to get his prescription levels correct, and he's hallucinating beautiful Italian women in Cusimano's backyard. But yeah.
And can't get hard too, like the other ones.
Yes.
When he takes, which is if Tony can't get hard, I mean, he is the most virile.
A bull.
I mean, like Tony is a consumer, and he's this. It's not a mistake that he's just housing like full meals every scene. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not and drinking constantly. He is just this absolute insatiable human being.
Yes.
And every time he is, there are hardly any moments where he is just sitting down and doing nothing and consuming nothing. And when there are, like towards the end, when he has to go to the beach house, vacate the beach house to hide from Phil while they try to find Phil, where he is sitting there doing nothing. It's so powerful because he's not eating ice cream, he's not watching the History Channel, he's not at the Bing drinking, he's not anything. He's just sitting there with his own thoughts. You finally get that towards the end.
It's oh man, that's such a good point because every scene with him is just barely pent up frustration, rage. He's about to explode over something. Every good mood is just a prelude to him punching through a wall, beating someone up, screaming at someone.
Yeah.
Every single one. And those moments when he really does sit there with his own thoughts, that's when he eats himself from the inside out, has bizarre dreams, winds up having problems. That's so true.
So many. Yeah, he and you right at the beginning of the first season, his best friend, one of his best earners, it's best friend and best earner are two things. Like you got to be both, by the way.
Yes.
With Tony, if you're a bad earner but you're the best friend, there's only so much I can do. You're not my best friend because if you didn't earn, why would you're not my friend? Don't disrespect.
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do? That's one of the best. When there's clearly it's something you could have done. I love when they're at the funeral of a guy they killed, and then
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? One of the best parts, and I'm skipping way ahead here. One of the best parts is I can't remember the character's name, but he's the guy wearing the members only jacket.
Yes. Gene Pontecorvo.
He wants to move to Florida, which is hilarious, by the way. The whole premise of it is so funny. They're in this trashy Jersey neighborhood, him and his wife, and they get one side plot, which is how you know he's going to die or go to jail.
Yes.
Those are three things that are going to happen when a character you don't see very often gets his own episode.
He gets an episode,
yeah, where the kid wants to. He's like, my son's doing heroin. I want to move to Florida where he won't do heroin anymore. So it's like all of these, like, which because they run into. But there's a part with Tony. Because Tony is Caesar, right? Yeah. Tony is Caesar.
Yes.
And very much. I mean, and literally he views himself that way too. And as that, so he gets a touch of everyone's envelope. And this guy Gene's aunt dies, or wife's aunt dies, something like that. They come into like $1.5 million or something.
$2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million in a time back then where like
that's a lot of money. That's like $4 million today. Yeah.
For that. So he comes up on that. He's in the middle of explaining to Tony what he's trying to do, and Tony's just like kind of looking weird. You don't know what's gonna happen. And then Gene goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's your taste." He goes, "Oh, I wasn't gonna ask."
Yeah, exactly. not that I want to say. Not that I want to say, but
he was like, "Wait, why is he not handing me an envelope right now?" And so I mean, and James Gandolfini, they talk about it. His eye, what he does without saying anything. And I'm not a big actor guy. I don't really care about actors that much, but he's able to just kind of do that. And he doesn't break the fourth wall. He's not Jim Halpert looking at the camera when Michael Scott does something stupid. It's very much at the person. And Edie Falco says her favorite scenes, and she's never seen the series, by the way.
She's never watched it.
I think she said she watched a couple episodes and it was too much for her. Like,
oh my God.
This is weird.
Wow.
I don't think she watches. I mean, she's she's very works a lot. I love Nurse Jackie. That's like an awesome show. So,
she's a pro, yeah.
She's incredible in that show. But anyway, she's like, one of my favorite scenes is when I like make him dinner and we just don't say anything for like 10 minutes. And the only thing that makes the scene even worth being in there is all the stuff leading to that moment. So we're all just sitting there processing it. Meadows got this going on. Carmela's got a thing with the priest. Tony was the girlfriend's committing suicide.
Right.
They're all just having dinner. Not saying anything.
It's just the sound of him furiously stabbing his plate of food, shuffling his food around. Yeah.
And what Tony has to do in his first, he's tested immediately because you don't know Tony Soprano in the first season. You're like, well, what's he going to do? Is he going to run away? Is he going to help somebody get away? He loves Pussy Bompensero. By the way, I'm not lost on the fact that that his best friend has the name Pussy, which is a thing Tony's chasing the entire series. But he says they have to kill Pussy Bompensero, and that goes all the way into the second season. It's a long. I've forgotten how long that process is.
Yeah, it really is up until the end of season 2. That's the finale. Yeah, so true. I mean, and throughout the whole show, you realize just how almost every single one of his captains has turned rat.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who doesn't know. And then thankfully they all either die or go to prison through other means throughout the course of the show. But yeah, I mean, he's the only one who actually sticks to the code of ethics that they all claim to ascribe to as members of this family.
Right.
Because you see this especially when he's in the hospital after Junior shoots him. I mean, we're scooting all over the place timeline-wise, but I'm going to assume everyone has seen the show.
Yeah.
Because it's been out at this point for over 20 years.
Right.
But you see how everyone is willing to toss him and Carmela under the bus when they think that he may or may not come out of the coma that he's in.
Yeah.
They're already like, even Paulie Walnuts is skeeving on giving Tony the taste of the $2 million score that he's just gone through. Everyone's like, Willie or won't he? What's going to go on? It isn't until he actually pops out of the coma that all of them go, holy shit. and they beeline to kiss the ring. But throughout the whole show, he's the only one who still holds to the respect of and the rules of the game. Junior bitches him out through the whole show.
Yeah.
Right? He still shows up and gives him respect, even though he hates his guts at times, and even though he even asks him point blank, "Do you love me?" There's a very poignant episode where at the end of "Do you love me?" when Junior's losing his marbles, but he still shows up and does homage to the elders in his family and the people in his team. Christopher, he could have thrown under the bus as soon as he found out that this guy was a junkie fuck. Because
you should. That's the thing is like he actually doesn't follow the rules. And what I mean is Tony, but all his errors are mistakes we want him to make. We don't want him to kill Chris. So we don't want him to. So you're leading now into exactly where I was taking this. Is he respects the rules, but he's also he has a sentimentality that I don't think any of the other characters actually show, with the exception maybe of Johnny Sack, who legitimately loves his wife Ginny. And who also seems like a generally honorable person, despite the fact of the profession that all these guys are engaged in. But you realize just how eager and easy it is for all of them to toss things by the wayside when the heat bears down on him. And Tony's kind of the only one that doesn't. And Johnny Sack as well. I mean, he goes to jail for it, but so Johnny is so interesting. I found him to be the most fascinating character in terms of that I hadn't seen before. Things were unlocked for me in what his role is in this series. So we have to dedicate literally like a few minutes to hit.
Let's talk about Johnny.
Because I've always liked him. It's you always like him, but you just kind of view him as this villain, kind of. I don't even think he is a villain. Like no. I don't even think he is. I mean, you figure, look, Johnny Sack is he serves. He's a captain under Carmine, right? Like for a while. Carmine's obviously not going to last that long. His son is retarded. Which is funny when you realize the things he said. I didn't even pick this up the first 4 times I watched the show. Is Carmine misusing words constantly?
Oh, it's so funny.
It is the funniest thing. It kills you, and you're like, this. He's just in like a pink Lacoste shirt. He just wants, he has zero killer instinct, zero business savvy, none of it. He has nothing to offer. So Johnny Sack is the shrewd guy. Here's Johnny's problem. Johnny is so rule-oriented. He is so honor-based. He thinks everyone needs to act like me. He is this classic, if everyone needs to be made in the mold of me, or else they need to go. And then you realize, well, John, you can't just kill everybody. You need to have soldiers. It's the new era. And Johnny, there's a part where Johnny, when Carmine dies, and they have the funeral in Jersey.
Yeah.
And they have the cross rosary draped around his fist.
Oh, yep.
And his I think Carmine goes up to Johnny Sack and goes, "My father, what the fuck was it? What the fuck is this? My
Opus
father was
Dei.
like,
Yeah.
Your father was very interested in what the church was doing." And basically that plus Johnny Sack does not have a Gumar.
Yes.
That we know of. We're never alerted that he has a Gumar. In fact, he deeply loves his obese wife.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest episodes of the show where she's smuggling Twix and stuff.
Yeah.
Did I ask you to do this for me?
Oh, it's so sad. It's so touching.
Yeah, my wife was like, "That was the sweetest thing I've ever seen."
Yeah,
like it's just like, and you love him, but he is just such an old guard guy. Johnny Sack in 1966 would have been the best. He would have killed Chris Moltisanti. It would have just been he would have been like AI mob, basically, like how AI would be a mobster. And I don't mean that he would still have this great personality and everything, but there wouldn't be the nuance that Tony has, because Johnny is like, wait, we used to kill gay guys. We used to kill these guys. Like, we used to do all of this stuff. Like, what are you doing, Tony? Whereas Tony's probably right. Times are changing.
Well, they even they even make fun of, he's like this yuppie fuck, they call him like this yuppie fuck,
Nice cars, he still loves his good stuff, but it's all old stuff. Like, it's not like, he's not a strip club guy. He's not.
No, I'm talking about Tony. They call Tony they refer to him as a yuppie.
Oh, I missed that. Really?
Yeah. So, but it's true. It falls exactly in line with what you're saying, in that Tony is, we're talking about him and rooting for him and calling him honorable and all this, that, and the third. But yeah, it's true. He's willing to blur the lines in a way that guys like Johnny or Phil Leotardo especially are not.
Yeah.
And none of them have good ends. Tony's is maybe a bit more gray, but all the old school guys, every single one of them, all either go to prison or get killed.
Yeah. And part of the thing with Johnny is Johnny's fate is really sad. It's really sad what happens to him. I think it's among the saddest things that happen in the show, in my opinion. Johnny goes to jail. He's arrested at the wedding, where, to be honest, it's like kind of not an old school thing. He weeps when he's being wheeled away from his daughter's wedding, where he is on basically a small release. The wedding's going a little long, and he starts crying, and people go, "My opinion of John Sacramone is not high right now." They're
tank,
towards him. And maybe that is John Sacramone's like weak link, but it's family at the end of the day, right? Like, it is family. And what does Tony say? Daughters are another question. Daughters are it's a different, right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing. But what Johnny does is like, okay, so Johnny thinks that if you play by the rules, exactly by the rules, if you are playing a board game and you have the laminated sheet of rules, if I do everything right, I'm probably going to be okay. And that's not the case. He does do most things right. And you see from the beginning how he's disrespected. He's basically saying, somebody makes Ralph Cifaretto makes a comment about his obese wife. He said she had, what is it, like 180
a 90-pound mole removed from her ass. Yeah.
90-pound mole removed from her ass. And that's said in front of everybody except John. Yeah. And John is like, what are we doing here? Why are we having a sit down? This guy's a dead man. Like, I'm right. And they're going, John, it's different. Ralph earns a lot of money. John, it's different. And he plays by that rule. So he's never rewarded for not killing Ralph himself, by the way. He's never rewarded for that, because the whole time this show is, I won't say there's no morals to this show, but there's clearly a new age to what they're doing that they're not, and it's not progressivism, right? It's clearly not progressivism.
Oh, no.
It's a new way to do things. And Johnny Sack is not that guy. And he dies in, he doesn't rat on anybody, but guess what happens? It doesn't do anything for his case. Like, he doesn't get any breaks in prison or anything. He dies of lung cancer, of really bad lung cancer, in jail, with that excellent final episode of Johnny with Sidney Pollack as
yeah.
that's unreal in that. He's so good. He's like, oh, let me look at your charts, and all he does is give Johnny a little positivity. That's all he does. He's the only guy to do it.
So good.
His wife's telling him, don't smoke. All these people are in his face, and he doesn't get anything. But Johnny is this example of, guys, these are soldiers. You need to leave your little moralistic things at the door. Right? Like you can say, oh, honor this, honor that. Honor gets you shit. All right? Like, honor gets you shit. There is nuance. You need to, not everybody plays by the rules. These guys are savages. And Johnny's like one of those guys that's like, well, I played by the rules. Yes, so what? So yep. I love what they do with his character as a thing of saying, like, look, this might have worked in the 60s. Now, jack shit. We got junkies everywhere.
Yeah.
Drugs, strippers, all of these things, which, they always had those, but it's a different era. Post crack, post 9/11, post all of these things. Different era.
Fuck things up.
Yeah.
Well, they talk about drugs through the show. Just when Tony's yelling at Pussy, like, don't push that big H anymore,
right? Because
that's what brings the government down on your head, and that's what actually causes problems for us. And that was the case for many, many decades. Was all right. The mob, they're not going to crack down too hard, and the minute they got into hard drugs and really making a crap load of money through that is when a lot of things started to fall apart.
Goodfellas, that happens, right? Paul Sorvino, Paulie.
He says, don't do that shit. Yeah.
Ray Liotta, are you fucking pushing that? Do not push that drug. I said no drugs. I don't care what the money. It's not worth it. And to be fair, it's true. Everybody goes down for drugs. The drugs are the shit. But again, it's one of those things. If I don't push it, then we lose the neighborhood to the people that do.
Yeah.
So there is this.
There's even. Do you remember that time when? Do you remember when Chrissy and Paulie go up to Boston because they're going to hire those hitmen, those blind hitmen, those brothers?
Right.
And the reason that they're this impoverished, like, mongrel blind gang of down on their heels hitmen is because they never pushed drugs, and that's why they lost ground and wound up having to take out hits in order to make a living. It's so true. Like, all those guys, even shit. I mean, you want to think about it. It tends to be the downfall of some of the main characters in the show. Chris, it's heroin, which winds up screwing him up. Sure. Ralph is like an inveterate coke addict, which causes him to do, he's a shit heel anyway, but it causes him to do terrible things. Pussy winds up getting whacked because he's pushing heroin. It only does terrible things for everyone who winds up getting involved in narcotics through the show.
Which is funny, right? Because remember when Tony does peyote?
Yes.
With Chris's old girlfriend.
I get it.
In Vegas. He kind of has this, like, breakthrough where he's like, wait.
Yeah.
All right. You guys shouldn't be doing this shit.
Yeah.
I kind of found a little something with it, where he realized, like, a lot of things, he has the peyote moment in the desert, very late 90s or mid 2000s, very
so funny
classic, like, thing that they were doing, peyote in the desert.
Yes.
So that is really funny. But yeah, some other stuff we got to talk about here. What did you think of Paulie?
I mean, he's
I
just finished the episode where he finds out that his mother is not his mother.
And he's awful the entire episode.
Yes. Oh, he's terrible to his poor the woman who raised him.
Mary Nucci. Yeah.
Immediately throws her television out the window. Says he never wants to see her again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Amazing woman. Just an absolute beautiful cross on the wall woman. Just absolute, like, nicest. Like, it looks like Martin Scorsese's mom, kind of.
Yes.
Like,
that's all Italian grandmothers, but yes.
Stregonona, very Stregonona. Yeah, like, just kind of like got that look about her. Nicest woman ever. When he's and I found him to be so annoying. And there was kind of a thing that unlocked, because the thing about Paulie is, he never snitches, right? Because why? He has no wife, no kids.
He has nothing. He has nothing except for his own miserable, his own misery. He's a fucking cheapskate. He's a miserable character. He was ready. He was ready to throw Tony and Carmela under the bus when Tony gets shot, and he's laying there in a hospital bed, and he's wondering whether or not he should kick up. But he does still revere Tony. He does still revere. He has that portrait of him on the wall. He salvages the portrait of Tony with the horse. Yeah. So, but Tony snubs him one too many times.
I know.
And, you get that moment when him and Tony are on the boat and towards the end of the show, and you think Tony's going to kill him. He finally,
But what would, my thing is like, Paulie is topped out, though. Like, there is nothing, Paulie could not handle the responsibility of, because we see a chance of Silvio trying. He can't. He has worse panic attacks than Tony.
Yeah, exactly.
He has worse panic attacks than Tony. He has worse. Paulie would be, he wouldn't even have the panic attacks. He would just be a retard. Like, he would, the whole Rico K, everybody would get a jail whacked. Like, it would be terrible. Like, he's just completely incompetent, in my opinion. Paulie is a soldier, right? And Paulie was probably supposed to, I was thinking this too. Paulie was probably supposed to die 20 years prior. Like, just in general, like, probably, he even talks about it. He's like, oh, I survived in 77. I survived the big, gang war of that. And you kind of think, like, I think everybody expected you to die back then, because you kind of just were one of those Brendan Filone type guys, like die in a bathtub.
Yeah,
like you kind of expect him to be that, but he's just kind of a guy that he's like this cockroach of a character, like just surviving nuclear blasts, surviving prostate cancer, I think, surviving all of these things. And you kind of like, and I what he did to his mom, again, that you talk about
terrible.
You talk about how did Tony handle his mom, right? A mom who was way worse than Marion, like way worse than her. Tony, like, till the end still went to the hospital, albeit to do things, but he went to the hospital to talk to his mom and all of these things, despite it just being like, she's dead to me, he still did that. Paulie hears one thing of bad news, and that's the thing. That's why Tony is meant to run the crew. Tony can take bad news, spaz out for like a quick second, make a move, right? Make a move. Paulie, bad news, he freaks out. Again, he has no why. He is the Michael Crichton lone man hypothesis, where if anyone hasn't read the Andromeda Strain, they have the lone man hypothesis, where you always want to have a guy. The guy who gets the detonator key is the guy with no wife and no kids if the lab needs to blow up, because he will not think about that. That is like, he'll do it. He will make a rational decision. But guess what? Paulie doesn't have, despite that level of independence.
Yeah,
he's stupid. He's a child.
He's just a selfish fuck. To reduce it down to a simple phrase.
R.I.P. Tony Sirico, awesome guy, but just the character. The character's great. I mean, the character's great. I hate him though.
And again, it's just like a testament to how well all of these characters were written and how well they were played.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But you hit the nail on the head there. Sil couldn't handle it. Sil, is self-admitted in that he saw himself as more of a behind-the-scenes guy.
Right.
He never wanted the smoke.
Robert Duvall in The Godfather.
Yes, he's a dyed-in-the-wool consigliere. He never wanted to head the family.
And a smart one at that. He's a very smart consigliere.
Yes, you want this guy as your second in command.
Yeah.
Christopher, if Chris had actually fulfilled Tony's wishes of becoming his mouthpiece and ultimately succeeding him in the family, he would have driven it straight into the ground. No. I don't care how sober he would have been. He would have been a terrible boss.
And he couldn't have kids with Adrienne, so it's like then you figure the optics of
would have been bad
of that. It's doomed. The minute they say Adrienne can't have kids, you realize because when you know everyone's fate, you start looking on subsequent watches of like when is their fate sealed, right? Like is when That's why rewatching things are great. I actually learned how important a rewatch was when I watched Chinatown. When you watch Chinatown, it turns into a horror film the entire time after you know what happens, because you're just watching these things that lead into this disgusting thing. It's not like noir like this. The first time you watch it, you're just like, oh my gosh, this spectacle, this beautiful stuff. whereas in the Sopranos, there's so many, like, you're catching lines for the first time, you're catching all these things, and you're paying attention. But when, like, Adrienne basically just is at her worst when she has IBS. I think she had like a bad abort. Was it an abortion or something?
She had an abortion years ago, and that only comes out when she's talking to the FBI agent who she assumes is her friend.
Danielle.
Danielle, yes, who's hot, but Danielle was an FBI agent. And
Chris's greatest line was when they kind of have like a almost threesome on the couch together when they're doing when the thing where she goes, "You said she had a nice ass." He goes, "She's your friend. I was trying to say something nice." It's one of the best lines in the whole show. He killed, so good. He killed the guy. Anyways, you were saying, like, Adrienne, the poor thing. You love her to death. She is so 25 IQ, stupid,
tragic. But this gorgeous woman is willing to support and pump up the ego of this guy who is, like, even Tony says, you're punching way above your weight with this woman, kid.
Right.
She's totally in his corner from start to finish. Wants to support him as a screenwriter, encourages his dreams, is in his corner even when he smacks her around, and is just awful to her from start to finish.
Yeah,
when she winds up getting it,
And Chris, like Chris's one part where Chris just, like, Adrienne, like, pays attention to everything Chris does. He knows, like, everything. She knows all his, like, things she likes, like she doesn't really cook, but, like, if she does, she knows what to make, like, with her limited skills of, like, oh, I made this for you, whether he wants it or not. Chris, I remember that part where he comes off on a huge shipment of, like, Manolo shoes, but they're like 12.
They're like giant sized.
Yeah, I'm a giant, like a WNBA player, and he's just like, and the idea is like you don't. I don't think I know my wife's exact shoe size. I wouldn't get it 3 sizes off. I'll just say that much. Like,
it's the thought that counts.
I know. It was so funny. I guess I'll take these back. And it's just like it's just this. Yeah, they're married. They have like this, like, William Burroughs kind of, like, marriage that's happening. Like, it's sad. It's their apartment is horrible. Like, everything about it is just like total, like, Pittsburgh Goodfellas cocaine connection apartment. It's terrible. But Adrienne talks about getting the job with David Chase, and she's kind of a nobody at that point. I think she was, like, in with, like, the Abel Ferrara crowd at that time, kind of the New York.
She was another, like, arty scenester kid in the city.
Her mom was, like, part of the big
yes.
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Her mom was in the acting and theater scene in the city.
I see.
And so she grew up around that, and she was just supposed to be a bit player in the show. And then David Chase liked her. I mean, as you were, I think, going to go into,
She was supposed to be waitress at Vesuvio's with no name.
Right.
That was her character at the beginning. Waitress at Vesuvio's, Artie Bucco's restaurant. You think maybe at the most it was going to be Artie has a thing for the hostess for, like, an episode, they get rid of her, which they do that in a way. But he, but I think what she said in the documentary, she just said "ow" like that, like a Jersey girl, like, and he just goes, that have to have that.
The girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the girl. It was exactly like that. He just goes, that has, and it's a great call. The auditions for the show are funny. I do love, that's the one kind of behind the scenes things I love about the show. Vincent Curatola, Johnny Sack, was talking about auditioning for the show. A lot of these guys had, like, businesses. He was a stonemason. Had his own masonry business. Like, he's in his 40s. He was a judge, like, kind of a spot judge on Law and Order. I think he still is. Like a judge on Law and Order here and there. Like, he was just getting little roles like that, but nothing that was paying the bills. But he was kind of like scratching a little itch he had. And then his wife, who's an Irish woman, and he makes the point to say this, like, she's Irish. My wife is Irish, and she says, you should do that show. And he's kind of thinking, like, man, this, like, Italian comedy, I don't know about this, this is going to be disrespecting Italians. Who's going to get picked up? Like, then I'm going to be embarrassed that I was in a show disrespect. Whatever. He goes to the audition. He's late to the audition. He's like, I don't even want to do this. He goes to this audition, and the casting lady, who I'm not sure if she's the one in here, but it's Christopher Walken's wife that did the casting for Sopranos.
No joke.
Georgianne Walken.
Wow.
She did the original. I don't know if she's the one that casted Johnny Sack, because I think he was later in the season, season 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he doesn't show up right away at all.
He shows up when they have a sit down with Hesh. I think this is the first time he shows up. But he said he went to the audition, and she goes, "You're late." And he goes, "Oh yeah." And she goes, "Well, I don't wait around for people." He goes, "All right, fine." He does, "All right, fine." Kind of like Johnny Sack in that voice. He's very much, you hear him talk, he's very much just Johnny.
He's the same guy, yeah.
Same exact guy. It's very nice, because a lot of the Sopranos people are not their characters, and it's sad.
Painful. So painful.
I actually hate it. But like Edie Falco doesn't know how to cook. It sucks. There's
at least Paulie was basically straight up and down the same guy.
yeah. Steven Van Zandt is in Bruce Springsteen's band. It's none of this stuff is. But Johnny Sack does this. All right, fine, and does like that, and then she goes, "Hold on, no, hold on." The way you said that,
this is the man.
Yeah. Hold on. No, I'm gonna make you read. So they all talk about this. The cast all talks about this. They heard from behind the wall. It was a thin wall. You could hear people auditioning for the part, which fucks you up. I feel like that would be insanely weird thing where you're like, do I copy that? Do I not copy that?
Yeah.
Am I way off? Am I, it's like the kid who turns the test in after 5 minutes while you're on question 5, right. Like it's very much
screw up. Yeah.
You think about that. He says, Johnny Sack hears everybody, and it's the sit down with Hesh from season 1, I believe, that is the scene. He sits down and he's listening to people. They're all yelling. They're all screaming. And he's like, this guy's the boss of New York. Or, he's to the Jersey crew, he's a celebrity, this guy.
Yeah.
To the Jersey crew, he is a big fish. He goes, he wouldn't need to yell. So he goes in and he's like, they can barely hear me through my audition. I made him lean in. He goes, because I don't really need this part. He went in with this confidence. Like, I don't need it. I have my masonry business. I'll pass that down to my son. We're fine, And he kind of does that. And I talk to him like this. And he's talking, and they loved him. And it's perfect because he is, when Johnny does raise his voice, you kind of go like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it freaks you out a little bit. Everybody else is Italian hands and, limbs going everywhere. He's just sits there with a cigarette constantly and just kind of goes, what the fuck do you expect me to do? And that's when it comes out. It's great. So I love that. Like, I love the audition stories of the Sopranos people. So let's talk about Silvio a little bit more. His wife is his wife in real life. Which is funny. It's nice. Makes the hospital scenes kind of sad when he's meets his fate towards the end. He dies. You think? I mean, more or less. He's not.
You kind of leave it all up in the air for.
He's not coming out of that. He's not having the Tony Soprano because we've already found out he's not Tony Soprano.
This is true.
So he wouldn't come out of the coma. That.
This is true.
It's so he isn't going to have that happen, but I like Sil a lot though, for a guy who has no acting experience.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at him like a caricature, which he kind of is. He kind of just plays him as this constantly scowling guy with a very fake hairpiece on.
I know.
Just like, I mean, I'm mugging for the camera because so people aren't going to see it, but you all know what Sil's face looks like.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, he is the straight man to Tony's blow-ups.
Yeah.
And he always seems like the sanest person at the back of Satriale's or in the Bada Bing, because he's the only one who isn't out there screaming all the time. And he tends to have good advice for Tony and reel in some of his more violent impulses when it comes to the way he wants to rule on certain things.
And what's really funny is when you find out what's his, right? The Bing is his. So when Ralph is fucking Tracy, that girl, and Silvio goes to the house and drags her out, and she's like, I don't know what you've done, but that shaved twat belongs to me. And he fucking throws her on the car.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that he's like can kill people and like hurt people and stuff.
He's got it like that. Sil has got it like that. Yeah.
So those two moments, there's that, and then the soccer coach who's like kind of a pedo. Those are the two moments where Silvio freaks out.
Yes. Oh man, that's so true.
That's a great one. That's so many good side plots. The Robert Patrick sporting goods store,
Oh my God. But
gambler.
this is the thing. Yeah, like all of the, it's people want to say, oh, yeah, the show didn't find its full swing until season 3. Yeah, okay.
I don't even know if that's true, but yeah.
But there's so many great episodes in every single season that just stand out on their own as being these fun things to talk about and refer to, and that you stick in your head because they're so memorable. Yeah, Tony's deadbeat friend, his friend from high school, who winds up being a degenerate fucking gambler.
And it's played by a guy who typically is this menacing Terminator man.
Yes, the fucking Terminator is getting busted out,
Robert
sleeping
Patrick,
in a tent. Yeah.
Always a prick, like just a huge
Yes.
prick and everything. And he is this wallowing loser.
Yes.
Like just Eeyore loser, sleeping in a tent in his own store that he still doesn't own. They're like, you need to get out of here immediately. And you learn then the Tony finds different ways to kill people, right? That's a great way. He finds ways to kill people. You could have shot that guy and saved his family a world of trouble.
Nope.
No.
He's going to bleed him dry.
Bleed you dry. Another instance of that is when Tony does it to Feech LaManna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
LaManna, right? What does Feech LaManna want more than anything? Never to go back to the can, right?
Yep.
Feech LaManna is part of a great. This is such a great thing to introduce in the later seasons. Is setting the old guard guys free.
Yep.
And not realizing that shit's been happening since they've been gone. You have Steve Buscemi, Tony Blundetto. You have Feech LaManna, Robert Loggia. Just incredible. These guys are incredible. At this point, The Sopranos is like casting itself.
Yes, it's true. You need Robert Loggia to show up at some point in The Sopranos. It's great that he showed up as Feech LaManna.
Oh, I love Feech, man.
So great.
One of his first big comments, he's like, "These women, I get out of the joint and they're shaving their pussy." Like
exactly, yeah.
I'm a 12-year-old girl. I mean, but it's like, but you're still doing it, obviously. But yeah, he's like, yeah. And he's like, I guess it's not that big of a thing. But yeah, they think that they're gonna get this. It's why I brought up the Johnny Sack situation.
Yeah,
you think that Johnny Sack thinks that if he plays the right way, he will get rewarded,
and it blows up in their faces.
These guys think, well, I did my time. I'll get rewarded for doing my time. No, we just won't kill you.
Yes.
That's what happens when you go to jail. We just won't kill you. You don't get shit.
So true. They all get thrown under the bus. They all think that they've got something coming to them, and they realize that the code that they all swore a blood oath to ultimately doesn't mean as much as they thought it would.
Oh,
and
so right.
Yeah, and I mean it's you could look at it as a tragedy, because they're all scumbags, they all do really shitty things to everyone, but they're soldiers. They all bought into the game, they all bought into a set of rules, and you expect, if you play by the rules, as you keep saying, that Johnny Sack played by the rules, all these guys went to jail playing by the rules. If I don't rat, I do my time like a man, I come out, I'm going to get what's coming to me.
Yeah.
None of them get what's coming to them. None of them.
Life's like that. I mean, again, if you're a Christian, you might not ever pay for your sins in your natural life. You'll pay after. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in the real, this life that we live in, whether you want to call it a simulation, anything like that, an audition for the afterlife or all these things, like, yeah, you might skate by. But, these guys all have a crazy fate happening for them after. But there is a moment where Tony's in Melfi's office, and Dr. Melfi kind of gets taken aback a little bit. And obviously there's a psychosexual companionship for them the entire episode, through the entire series, that really makes their conversations really good. But she says, "Do you think you're going to heaven?" And he goes, "Well, do you think soldiers go?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Fuck. Yeah, I think maybe they might." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's war." He goes, "Well, what we're doing is war."
Yes.
He's like, "What? Because there's not a government involved?" He goes, "Well, the government is involved. They're trying to stop me." But he's like, "Whatever." He's like, obviously Tony has other transgressions, but as far as the killing, you're kind of thinking like, well, there's like the blood meridian element. It's like, well, if you want things done, this is how they get done. Do you want things done? if you want the neighborhood to stay Italian, this is how it stays Italian. If you want, this to happen, then this is. I know how to get from point A to point B. You just might not like the path we take,
And he makes the point. I think even in that conversation, he's like, "What about the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the Mellons and all these people? And they let all of us into the country to do their dirty work, and you think that they were any better than you were than me?
Yeah,
right." He's like,
Yeah.
"What's the difference? They didn't get their hands dirty. They had other people do it for them. Everything that those robber barons did today would be condemned as human rights violations, would be condemned as moral violations, would be condemned up and down the line as a travesty against human dignity in many respects. With him, it's out in the open."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you even want to take it to the point where Tony's in his coma, and he's the dream where he is Kevin Finnerty, right? And he's having his near-death experience finally towards the end of that dream, where he's going to what is presented as a family reunion.
Oh.
This like brings tears to my eyes now when I see it.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yes. And you see Tony Blundetto, Steve Buscemi. He's just credited in the episode as man. And he's in a tuxedo and he's got a clipboard. And he's letting people into the party. And Tony, Kevin Finnerty, he's got a briefcase in his hand. And he's trying to figure out whether or not he should go into this house where you can hear beautiful music and laughter and festivities coming from. And he's confused and he doesn't know what to do. And Steve Buscemi keeps trying to take the briefcase out of his hand, going, "You don't need that.
Just let go.
Just let go."
Mm-hmm.
And he can't do it.
It's brutal. That whole series. So I was talking about this with my wife. That gets that kind of Kevin Finnerty, the kind of Lynchian.
That's so true. Holy shit! That is like a whole Lynchian episode.
It's almost the return, which the return's not even a thought at this point. It's probably a thought, but it's not anywhere near being done. It's kind of his Dougie Jones in a way.
Yes.
And, when you think about it, it's Tony just going, if I did stuff differently, if I just did let's say my dad's not Johnny Boy Soprano, let's say I'm from Tom Soprano and he owns what does he sell? Patio furniture? He
sells like defense equipment. Like, he's
that's
like
right. Yeah, that's right. So he's let's just say I did that. I went to school. I got a degree and I am selling.
I'm a salesman. Yeah,
I'm a salesman. And it's all these like Kafka, like weird Kafka-esque things happening to him. All of these annoyances that are exactly the same as the things that are happening to him as a mobster, maybe with different kind of stakes, but they all still kind of have the same effect on him. And he realizes that he's like, I was never going to be this. My role in society has always existed, and there are people born to do my role in society, and that's me. That's my look at it. And I find I will say this. I think people shit on the Kevin Finnerty dream sequence.
Oh no!
I think the actual bad dream sequences are the like boardwalk ones. Those ones are like not that good. Like in my opinion, though, lighting yourself on fire on the bar, they're okay. I'm not saying they're bad. They don't. The kind of season 2 boardwalk stuff with the only one that's really worth a shit is the talking fish. That one's great. With the big mouth Billy Bass, very of the time episode.
Oh man, everyone had one of those.
Yeah, those are way more of a, I don't consider it an offense, but much more of a all right, I'm done with this kind of thing, rather than the Kevin Finnerty thing, which you realize like as you rewatch it, they don't spend that much time on the Kevin Finnerty. I thought it was a whole season. It's really not. It's like
2 episodes.
Yeah, 2 or 3 episodes. It's just the right amount of time, and it's this constant like going to school naked style dreams that he's having.
He gets slapped by a Buddhist monk,
Yeah, and even which you think about the Buddhist monk, they are people who have a code, right? They have a code. Like regardless of life is this, it's that, it's Taoist, all these things. Like you could say that, but he they have this code, but even they kind of go, "Fuck you, you owe me money." You know,
Exactly. They still want to take him to court. Yeah.
yeah. So he's like, everybody does this shit. Everybody does. It's like this validation that he needs, and then you realize after a while, he's like, "I'm not ready to go yet." Some guys would. Some guys would. Hell, my own cousin would. He did. You know. So I love the Kevin Finnerty dream sequence a lot. Let's see.
Yeah, no, all I was going to say is, yeah, I mean, those, you know, I think we kind of take it for granted, but that blend of exploring the unconscious in dream sequences, in blending genres in this way, where you're taking this bizarre surrealist stuff and you're mashing it up with what is on its surface a mobster show.
Yeah.
Like, original, strange, and somehow it all works.
It all works. It all works. And he, you know, you hear James Gandolfini's real voice, which always is a jump scare to me. If you see him in other movies, yes, I want to talk like this. And it's like, it's this weird, like,
like True Romance or Get Shorty or
Get Shorty is where he has this Southern accent that's not very good. I just watched that the other day. Fun movie. It's you watch him and you're just like, man, I know he's this like respected like actor guy, but he's really just Tony to me.
Yeah.
Like any movie I see him in, there's that Killing Him Softly, I think was his last movie, I think. The one with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like that movie very much, but he's in it. And it's just like, man, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's all right in that Coen Brothers noir one back in the day, the black and white Coen Brothers movie. That one's pretty good. I forget what it's called, but he's good in that. But man, he is just Tony, man. It's just it's the way Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. Like you just I look at him and like, nah, I'm sorry, I have no interest in that. Sorry.
you have no other roles.
Yeah. So
you only need one. You only need one. John Hamm will only ever be Don Draper, and that's all he ever needs to be. You know.
The funniest thing is when because HBO is notoriously cheap. I don't know if they're still that way, but back in the day, they were notoriously the cheap network. They were like, look, you have freedom. You get to play like the character with us.
Right.
You get to do all the crazy stuff. This is pre-A&E having Breaking Bad. Like this is very much like you do the things on this show. You get to go there. But we're not going to pay a damn thing because we're a subscription-based service. It's not cable. Right. We're not Time Warner, you know, at the time. And then, but they weren't paying a lot of money. So almost every season, the show gets more popular. And James Gandolfini's like, yeah, I think I should get more money. And they go, no. And he goes, all right, I think I'm done. And because the show's done if he's done. Literally, yeah, because even if Michael Jordan quit basketball, which he did, they still played basketball seasons while he was gone. And
HBO did not have a network without The Sopranos and James Gandolfini.
No. So they had to. And to be fair, I guess it pushed back a lot of production. And HBO got really cheap with this. Even season 6, the reason season 6 has 2 seasons is because if you called it season 7, you had to give actors a raise for a renewal raise, and they wouldn't do it.
Are you serious?
That's why.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. So they're cheap. They were cheap the entire time, like with them, which is like, this is your breadwinner. 6 Feet Under is not bringing this in, dude. I love that show, but it's not bringing in this kind of Sex and the City's your winner, is your other winner, but these are your two things. And so, you know, I thought it was really interesting, but he would break off. He would give everybody on the cast. I mean, I don't know about everybody. I think it was like, he would give not like Edie Falco, because I'm sure she was making pretty good money on The Sopranos in relatively speaking.
Sure.
Like, you know, the guy playing Mikey Palmici or like these other guys, like you would
pay him
like $30,000 or something. Be like, hey,
I've heard those stories.
I fucked up kind of your money temporarily.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if I was coming back, you know, and stuff. He goes, but I'm back. So let's talk about his family. We haven't really talked about his family very much. His actual nuclear family inside the house. Carmela. I mean, I think it's my wife's favorite character of the show. I mean, I love her. It's weird. I think a lot of women like her, but there's a lot of women that can't stand her because she's an enabler.
So I've gone back and forth on my Carmela opinions over the years, because I think at first you want to be sympathetic to her. Your initial reaction as a man is to be sympathetic towards Carmela and all of the shit that she gets put through as Tony's wife. And subsequent viewings made me revise that opinion, not charitably, because you realize that she signed up for this.
Exactly.
She signed up for this. She knew exactly who he was from the minute she said, I do. And before that, she knew exactly what she was getting into. How dare you act high and mighty and want to cause a stink after you stepped in with both feet to something that you were fully aware of was going to be exactly what it is.
And
now I'm sympathetic again, but you come at it with you get a look at a character that is fully formed, someone who has contradictions, who has flaws, and like any human being, there's two sides to her character. And she has to deal with that through the show. And she ultimately does. She reconciles to the fact that I married the man I married. I married into a lifestyle. I married for love, but it comes with caveats. And unless I accept them, I'm condemned to a life of misery.
That's beautifully said. I think she's a really good homemaker, and like it's a pleasant hang. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like she seems like really fun to be around.
Yes.
Just like jewelry, like clinking everywhere, like one of those women. Like you could, if you're a fragrance person, you probably just figure it's like a fragrance mom.
Should be a great TPN guest. Yeah.
Yeah. I would guess Carmela would be. Edie Falco would not be. She is a lip but yeah, exactly. And Edie Falco's like couldn't be less of her. Like
so
she wears sweats all the time, she's literally like, I don't cook. Like she's like, I just don't cook. Very New York, like I don't cook.
I don't want to hear this.
Which is, I know. No, I told my wife that. I thought she was like, what? I was like, yeah, no, she's like, not at all. I was like, yeah. And then Edie Falco on Talking Sopranos says, notice you don't see any, like in the way when you see a music biopic, you don't see the guy's face and the fingers playing at the same time on the piano.
Right.
She's like, notice I'm not chopping vegetables with my face in the scene. I'm not doing this. But the whole time, her food is legendary, right?
Yeah.
Her food is legendary. And Junior, who's incredible at this one scene where Janice is schmoozing her way into Bobby Bacala after Karen dies. He's like, whoa, Janice brought this lasagna over that's even better than Karen. And Junior tries it. He goes, no, that's my niece Carmela. That's her. That's got the diced sausage on the top. He's like, I know that thing. Like she's legendary. But she gets a taste, right? Because she thinks she's mad that Tony wants his cake and eat it.
He wants to eat it. Yeah.
However, she wants her cake and to eat it too. Her cake, however, is not unlimited penis all the time. That's not her cake. Her cake is a lavish lifestyle. To be honest, she wants Johnny Sack. However, Johnny Sack's not as cool as Tony. Like she wants a Johnny Sack type. Right?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like I don't believe that she has. I'm not saying she has a thing for Johnny Sack. I just
no. I get what you're saying.
Wants a Johnny Sack person. However, she'd get bored with Johnny Sack. She would.
Maybe this is the thing too, right? It's and this is again another added layer of brilliance to The Sopranos is how it lays bare, how the writers managed to lay bare the politically incorrect truths that underlie power dynamics between human relationships and men and women in particular. Mm-hmm. Because what makes Tony attractive is exactly what makes him dangerous and repulsive and unpleasant to be around.
Yeah.
And in any previous era, these contradictions would have existed in harmony because they would have been accepted as facts of life for a man of power.
Of course. Well, and there's and just to her credit, Tony is really sloppy about his things. A lot of the time, she's like, "Why do I find out about this shit almost immediately?" Yeah. Like, she's
why
like,
do I have to know?
I'm not even searching for shit, but I find a fucking Gloria Trillo fingernail. It's on like in your laundry. You know what I'm saying? Like it spills out.
Yes.
She's like, Tony, where's Tony live here?
Your drunken whore of a girlfriend is calling my son on the phone. Yeah.
Then you fuck her sister, who's kind of cool. Who
only has one leg.
Yeah, Svetlana, who is based. I like Svetlana.
She was great.
Great character. But you know, she's like, you literally like, and then I think we even Carmela not alludes, but just straight like he fucked like the preschool teacher too, like of Meadow and AJ's preschool teacher, or one of their preschool teachers. And so it's kind of like she's like, I get it, but like, why can't it just be some girl I never fucking see?
Yeah.
Why can't it, like, why does it have to be this? So like you get it to that sense where it's like, yeah, I get it. I did sign up for this. And Tony tells her a story. He's like, look, you loved it when I used to beat guys' ass in high school. Like you loved when I was like the tough, you know, swarthy kind of, you know, mobster.
He's a stud. Yeah.
Yeah. You loved it, you know? And she's like, well, I was 17. He's like, well, you're not that different now. He's like, the problem is, and look, we see Carmela does have these things for guys like the Father Intantola. She loves going after this unattainable thing that she loves the square peg round hole situation. She tries to will something to existence. She tries to will the Tony Soprano fire and intensity out of these men who, I'm sorry, they don't have it. The principal, AJ's principal.
Oh yeah, his guidance. That was his guidance counselor. Yes,
I forget who that actor though. He's real famous too. I forget. What his name is.
And he's in everything too. Everyone in these shows is in everything.
Big character actor guy. Yeah, he's she's like, you saw Beta, you know, basically like
Beta?
effectively like it's just the whole time like she's like, so she's resigned to it, and then her big breakthrough is when she just goes, why don't I just become a mobster? Tony, I want a house.
Yeah, she's like, this property costs $600,000.
Yeah, and he's like, even Tony, who's like, yeah, that's a headache, but thank God.
Because this is a negotiation he understands.
Yeah. Okay. Duh, idiot. Of course. You know, like
and their marriage is great afterwards.
yeah. They're like pretty much till the end. You know, for the most part, like
they start going out on dates again. They're sushi. Smiling at each other.
Yeah, we get the advent of sushi in America. Like,
so funny. Yeah.
Like
Tony's there just by himself at lunch eating sushi.
Yeah, when it's not Pierce American Psycho, like it's like these people actually eat this stuff now. Is like, oh, the sushi place, you went there without me. Yeah, there's, you know, she buys in. She finally realizes, yeah, I did sign up for this, because it's odd. Like one part that's like kind of odd to me is that like with her parents, because she is Chris Moltisanti's cousin, right? Like,
yes.
So she's related to Dick Moltisanti, I think. Or something by marriage. Maybe I can't remember. That gets a little muddy. But I'm always like, man, she does not seem like she comes from a mob family at all. So,
no,
like,
well, her mother and father are squares.
But also Dickie Moltisanti's in the family. So like Tony alludes to, he goes, you saw all that stuff with Dickie Moltisanti, like you know what like this is. And he's trying to tell her, like, you understand, like this is like what I do. It's actually like bad optics if I don't. I mean, as lame as that sounds, it's probably kind of true. They start thinking you're a Vito Spatafor, you know?
Yeah, he's a fake. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I love that. Meadow's arc is incredible in the show.
Astounding. Yeah, I mean, amazing.
She is the reactionary politics of the show. She's the most progressive out of any of them, but she is. You get to watch how like kids grow up, honestly, which they don't do on TV anymore, by the way. Kids are always right. Like if Sopranos was made now, Meadow would be like the voice of reason in the family instead of like, shut up, libtard. Like go in your room.
Such a good point.
Yeah. Like
that's such a good point. Yeah.
Listen to her. She would come in, she'd go, Mom and Dad, stop fighting. What we need to do is donate the money to Black Lives Matter. You know, like that's like what she would do. And then they would be like, okay. You know, and that would be the show. That's how they write shows now. Kids are the smartest people in the history of the world if we listen to them. So, but Meadow is almost a libtard by rebellion to her dad.
Yes.
That's very much the case. That happens all the time. That's why I always laugh when I see people, I'm going to raise my kid to be a based Republican. No, your kid's going to be a libtard.
Exactly.
You're going to have to be able to weather that storm. They will eventually come back, probably.
Yes.
Because they are you in a sense. Like,
have faith. Yeah.
They're going to go through a phase of like, especially if you want them to go to these nice schools that they want Meadow to go to, they're going to become a libtard there.
Yes.
And she wanted to go to Berkeley, right? She wanted to go to Berkeley. That was going to be crazy. And
different show at that point. That would be it.
So she's fucking up, and the whole time she thinks she doesn't need her dad, but then when she's like, people are overdosing at Lydia Soprano's, squat house. Who comes in and makes sure nobody actually gets in trouble, talks to the cops, all these things. But then, dad's not PC. Tony's not PC. He will say things like Sambo, you're dating Sambo. And
Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy.
That killed me. Jamal Ginsburg. And to be fair, that guy sucks ass.
Oh, he was a twat. A total twat.
Yeah, like it's not even like racially aside. If he was an Italian guy, he sucks.
Oh yeah, he would have still been a jerk off.
Yeah.
So funny, Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy.
Yeah, that's killer. Yeah, that because it's a 1-2 punch too. It's like my daughter's dating a Jew. Pow! Body shot. It's a black Jewish guy. It's like Lenny Kravitz, dude. You're like, and like it's a knockout. Like, what do you?
Good.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Funny. And she eventually, after a while, she embraces her Italian part of her. And there's that beautiful episode, which never stuck out to me in the past, where Tony and Carmela are separated, but Hugh, Carmela's dad, really wants him at the birthday party.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Tony
this
shows
is a
up.
great episode.
But Carmela's mom has like this doctor guy who she's trying to impress, who never liked them, always saw them as second-class citizens.
Yes.
But she always wanted to play up to him. So if that guy was at the party, everyone at the party needs to be on their best behavior because they don't want us to see that we're these greaseball Italians.
Yes.
Which to me always looks like a really fun time. Like all the greaseball Italian, like food everywhere and beers and drinks and people talking shit. I'm like, this is like I'm not Italian at all. I was like, I'd love that.
I'll tell you, it is fun.
Yeah, I know. He naps over here. Yeah. He's from the Florida crew. Yeah, he's
from New York originally. So
you are. Yeah, it's true. You're
yeah.
Carmine. You're smarter, but
I'm better looking. I'll take that. I don't know about smarter, but
you're a lot smarter. You haven't said what is it? Circumstance. Like it said it's circumstance instead of circumference.
Oh
like,
yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, you haven't said that. But like Carmela goes up to her mom and she's like, why are you ashamed of what you are?
Yeah.
Which
she was so happy that you got married to Hugh and you were so happy that your last name didn't have a vowel at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was she was so pissed off at her.
That's so funny. Yeah, the vowel is such an old school thing. My grandpa's Irishman, Ellis Island. He was not from his dad is Ellis Island, but
yes.
20s New York and stuff. And he was always like, yeah, he's like, oh, one of those vowel guys, they're always fuck. He was in like Bronx in like the 30s and 40s. He's like, yeah, those vowel guys doing bullshit in the streets. He's like, and
oh yeah,
yeah,
that was my grandfather's youth, was getting into fights with the Irish in the city.
And he'd be like, was it Polish guys? My grandpa would always say, he'd go, yeah, their last names are an eye chart. I fucking love that, dude. All right, rest in peace. I love that guy. But yeah, it was just these old New York guy things like that doesn't exist in California. Like I'm from California. Like we have Italians here, and all they do is wear like button-up shirts and sit in their backyard and drink wine, and like they have like a Ciao Bello sign in their kitchen. That's it. That's like their Italian. Maybe some Frankie Valli playing like for like a nice thing. That's it. They don't do the whole track suits. We don't have that.
Yes.
Yeah, like, it's not real. So it's like all that stuff looks really fun to me. So when people are trying to like suppress it, I'm like, that sounds great. That sounds so much better.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, can't do shit.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
So Meadow learns. One of the best parts of the series is when Meadow's bike gets stolen.
Yes.
And Tony just closes the fridge. Again,
he just looks at her and smiles. Yeah.
It's the nonverbal James Gandolfini. He's just smiling. She goes, "What, Dad?" And he's just like, "No, I didn't say anything." And he basically does a 1350 4chan crime stats thing.
So good.
And it's hilarious. And like 9/11 hits, and like Tony's like sad, and he's like, but he's also like opportunistic, where he's like, take care of them now, like leave us alone.
Exactly. That's so funny. It does work out in their favor, just because the FBI winds up loosening the noose around their surveillance on organized crime.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Elroy. You've read the Underworld trilogy, right?
Oh God, yeah. I binged on all of that over the spring.
RFK senior J. Edgar Hoover. Do we go after the commies or the mob?
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of. Like where one's clearly a threat, and the other, the other is like this known commodity.
We can contain it.
Yeah, I know those guys. Like they can get sloppy from time to time, but they usually clean their own up a little bit after a while. Like they usually, move. But these other guys are wild cards, and so that's kind of the whole situation in The Sopranos post 9/11.
Yeah, and that shows up, occasionally when the suspected terrorist side characters who were really only there for like episode at a time.
Remember when Tony's driving and he's driving with this new big bald head bodyguard guy, and he's like driving and he just sees those two guys cross the streets, and he's just like, oh no.
Yes.
And it's like, what? And he's like, I don't know, something's up with those guys. And they were just scamming. I think they were just scamming. I don't know if they were actually doing anything. They were just scamming like credit card numbers, which Tony was doing with like Indian guys already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then they all get indigestion. They all go to. They were doing the Indian call cart scammers, and Tony gets that awful indigestion.
Artie calls Artie over. Artie goes, "You didn't get it from my scallops?"
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely love it. Oh God.
He's hallucinating the beautiful dental student in Cusimano's yard. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, Meadow, even at the end of the show, right? She boomerangs all the way back around to becoming like a low-grade legal aide trying to bail out mobster buddies for us.
She's an asset. No, daddy's girl. She was always like a daddy's girl. Her and her mom just get along. And you see this. She's trying to replicate ultimately her relationship with Dad, with her relationships with Finn and everyone else that she's with, and Finn is great. I gotta love Finn, but Finn is a pussy. At the end of the day, Finn is not Tony. He's the principal. It's Carmela and the principal.
Yes.
Finn, who you like, because the thing is, Finn is a guy I'd hang out with.
Oh yeah, Finn. We would all love Finn. Yeah,
I'm not in this show. He's a San Diego Padres fan. I would talk about baseball.
Phineas Fogg. He's with Vito coming up, brushing up against him.
Phineas all the time. He goes, "It's not short for anything. I'm Finn." Yeah,
Finn. Yeah. Remember when he's in the hospital and Vito gets off the elevator and he grabs his arm and he like sensually traces it down to his
dress to kill, dude. It's fucking incredible. Yeah, there's a lot of old movie references in Sopranos, like a lot of Hollywood, which to me, I wasn't into movies the first few times I watched it. So now, as I've watched much more movies, I'm like, there's a lot more references you get. I'm not going to go into it.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, like Tony will literally quote old movies, to people as they're going through their day.
Right, yeah. You'll love this because I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about AJ in a sec, but Tony Blundetto, he does deserve. Yeah. He's a great character, Steve. Which you always think, like, bringing in a guy like Steve Buscemi, you're kind of like, he sticks out too much. Like you would think at first, but man, he blends right. I mean, I hate to use an Italian cooking thing, but he's this thing you just add, and it's like you haven't stirred the pot yet. He's like, oh, that stuff's sitting at the top of the pot. Like that doesn't work. Stir it in. Yeah, we've boiled it all down. It's all one thing now. Tony Blundetto's in there when he first gets out. And Tony said, I thought of you actually, even though we weren't doing this. We had.
I have no idea why you'd think of me during this particular thing that I think you're aiming at here, Glenn.
It's obvious why I would think of you, because when Tony gets out, it's been a long time. Tony Blundetto gets out because we learned that Tony Blundetto basically was at a crime scene that Tony Soprano was supposed to be at. He says he had an excuse for why he wasn't there. He was sick. He actually had a panic attack about his mom. Big reveal. Tony should have gone to jail. Tony Soprano should have gone to jail about as long as Tony Blundetto and their cousins. Well, Tony Blundetto gets out, and Tony Soprano goes, "Hey, I got you a suit." And Tony Blundetto's like, "No, I got my old one. It's fine. It still fits." And it's straight up Don Johnson, Miami Vice. It's straight up Don Johnson, Miami Vice suit. And Artie, as soon as they walk into Vesuvio's welcome home, he goes, "Oh, where's Tubbs?" Like as soon as he walks in, it kills me. And I didn't get that reference when I was a kid. I didn't watch
so good.
Yeah, he's got the roll. It's the you would know the terms better than me. It's the suit with the white with the teal undershirt. Yep. It's like a pink. It might have even been a salmon undershirt.
Yeah. He's got his sleeves pushed up over his elbows.
Yeah, Don Johnson. And that's when he got locked up. Is like during
like 1986. Yeah, exactly.
It was probably swagged out back then. Like
man.
I mean, I think it still looks cool, but like it's just funny. Like
everything swings back around. Oh man, you're absolutely right. Steve Buscemi, just because he looks the way that he looks, and because we all have these associations of him from everything he's been in. Mm-hmm. He's great. He's great in the show. Did you see, this is kind of a tangent, but it is related because it's a lot of the same characters. Did you ever watch Boardwalk Empire?
I did. I didn't care for it that much.
Okay.
But I did watch it.
But he did. But just like I bring that up just to say that he can play a really solid gangster, and he could play an intimidating character when he needs to.
Yeah. Oh, Fargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fargo too. I mean, he has an ability to be like, I'm a retard in an Adam Sandler movie, or I'm pushing somebody into a wood chipper.
Yes.
He can do it. And like his phenotype, his physiognomy, whatever term people want to use, like it works for both. And his character is Dustin Hoffman from Straight Time. I don't know if you've seen that film.
I haven't. No.
Oh, watch it immediately. It's a classic. It is a underrated Dustin Hoffman film. I won't spoil the movie for you, but it's Tony Blundetto in a nutshell. Okay. Basically, guy trying to go straight. Never mind. I'm a spaz. Fucking, I'm a spaz out on everybody. Like that's the theme of it. And pretty much to a T that I think about it. He has children. That's a bit different. He has like 2 kids that they smuggled sperm out.
So funny. It's really
funny. It's really funny. But he wants to give people massages and stuff.
I love the fact that he's so earnest and everyone takes him seriously.
Isn't he massaging Vito too? Isn't that?
Yes. Yeah. He's doing everyone in the back of Satrial. He's got his massage chair
out. It's funny that it's Vito. Vito's probably like, yeah, of course, obviously me first.
and he's so serious about, like, I'm gonna go straight, Tone. I've been out of the game for a long time. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a registered massage therapist. And nobody takes him seriously, but Tony's like, all right. And he gets in this job with this with Kim, the Korean guy. We make the big success journey.
I love that guy. Yeah.
And he gets into a fight with him at the massage parlor. He's going to stake him out, and he's doing taekwondo at him, and he punches him out.
I felt so bad for him too. The Asian guy. I was like, God, he really didn't deserve to die. That's sad. He was like the waiter. He was very similar to the waiter that Paulie and Chris kill when they're on the outs with each other. When Chris is saddled with all the checks, and can't pay for the stuff because he's still it's like $2,000 dinners every night and stuff, and he stiffs the guy on the bill. You're like, God, I felt so bad. Like there's some like one-off kills that are like, oh no.
Oh yeah. Like, that poor stripper, I think, stands out as probably the most egregious example.
Which one?
The stripper, Ralphie, the one that Ralphie beat.
Yeah. Oh, Ralphie. Gosh. But yeah, that brings us to, let's talk about, are you short on time?
I'm good. We can keep going.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Because AJ is like, David Chase is famous for talking about AJ as a stand-in for him.
That's interesting.
As a child. I think Tony is him as an adult in terms of his mom relationship, and the mom dominating every aspect of life, every decision made, the villain that he can't beat. Even if Phil Leotardo's breathing down his neck, Livia Soprano's actually there. The specter of her is much more powerful than the Phil Leotardo. But he said AJ's like was me because I was a little punk ass kid, and AJ's a punk, and it's funny how Tony really doesn't kick his ass that much.
He
Like,
legitimately loves him.
he should beat his ass way more, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he never does. And AJ is.
I think
to
he pushes
me-
him against the wall one time, like really one time, and it's when he's living with Tony on the separation.
Yes.
He pushes against his thing,
Yeah.
like, you want to be fucking tough with me, like, yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah. You want
Because
to
AJ says, he's like, you want to fight? Well, let's go.
yeah, which
And he
God,
throws the
did.
cereal in the sink. Yeah.
Beat the shit out of AJ. Like, Robert Eiler's like 5'3".
Is he really?
Oh, he's tiny. He's an
Oh,
Irishman. He's like a
God.
leprechaun.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This makes me like him even less. Because he looks exactly the same now. So I, immediately.
I
just
know, and
disrespect.
I listened to an episode. That's the one Vincent Curatola went on, was their show. And bless Jamie Lynn Sigler's heart, she's got MS, so she's trying her best and everything. And she seems like a nice girl. She's an Israeli, I think, like a Jewish girl, I think.
Okay.
And Siegler, I think that's a Jewish last name. But
Yeah.
and so the kids are. It's funny, the kid actors are not Italian at all.
I wonder if they're half and half, because everyone on the show seems to, even like their cast and the crew, they've all got, they're all like paisans. They've all got
A lot of them
Italian
are.
last names.
There's
Yeah.
there's a shit ton of them. Like you're like, wow, they really went to the,
I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean David Chase. Chase is, but he's Italian.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
thought he was Jewish this whole time. He looks like a Jewish guy. Like,
Yeah.
I just really did. But yeah, AJ is he's just a punk. And there's many times where you think he's gonna become Tony. Like, there's so many like edging moments where you think like AJ's gonna just flip that switch.
Yeah.
Even though you don't necessarily like the viewer doesn't necessarily like, oh, I want him to become a killer mobster. You don't, but you want him to become alpha.
Yeah, at least try.
And there's so many times where like he almost does it, but then he weasels out of the way. He's such a weasel.
He's got no fun. He's just has no character and no joy. And I mean, this becomes a plot point because Tony feels so tremendously guilty because he's like, he's got my dirty, rotten fucking genes, but I don't. He's just kind of an irredeemable character.
He's terrible.
And he bumbles along because his parents love him. Tony, who has zero tolerance for anyone else's issues, within reason, has these blind spots towards Chris and towards his son, his actual son.
Yeah, and at least with AJ, there's not going to be like business consequences with him having a blind spot. With Chris, it's really bad because it's like, Tone, if I did that, I'd be in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Like at so many times, which is true, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is true. With AJ, it's like this, like, Tony doesn't want him to be a mobster, but he's like, can you just be a fucking man? Like, you know what I mean? Like why are the
backbone? Yeah.
Why are the two modes? Why are the two outcomes gigantic pussy or Jackie Aprile Jr. with you? Because Jackie Aprile is just this. I mean, you talk about like there. A lot of the sons are just like apple rolling far away from the tree, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the sons in here. There's not a lot of. I mean, you even talk about the Parisi kid. He's like a nice lawyer kid, and he runs numbers here and there. But I think you get the feeling he was going to grow out of that and marry Meadow and have children. Like that. That's where a lot of these characters' sons are, and they don't want this for their sons. Like, at all. But they're also kind of like, can you be a little like me though? Like just like you don't got to kill a guy that owes that's 250K in the hole out of a poker game. Like, I don't need you to do that.
Right.
But can you conduct yourself as though you would?
Act like a man,
It's tough, right? Like, it is tough. Like, because you're like, well, if I push him too far in one direction, he's gonna die. Like, he's gonna do something weird. And AJ's hanging out with Paul Dano.
Yes, that's right.
The whole time, and AJ's covering the bill for everything and stuff.
Yes, he becomes a club kid in New York City. Yeah,
he's a fucking mark. He's a mark for that Dominican girl.
Yeah.
Blanca.
Oh man,
he's a mark for her. It's literally gets pussy once, and even his other girlfriend, who's a rich girl, right? Like a real rich girl, Devin.
Yeah, who has the Picassos in her living room?
I know. Remember that they asked if it was a print or something.
Yeah,
like, no, it's the real thing.
And then AJ gets all insecure. He's like, I don't have money like this. Yeah,
real money. Like it's not ghetto fabulous. It's fabulous. Yeah.
So good. I mean, yeah, and that's so true. That line that they all walk. I mean, Pussy Bumpancero, right?
His kid, yeah, exactly.
He's trying to put his kids through school. Gene Pontecorvo, his kid's doing heroin. He wants him, but he wants a better life for him. All these characters want a better life that is not within the business for their children. They're all like these bizarre, uber violent blue collar workers who don't want their kids to break rocks for a living.
Yeah.
And Meadow is kind of the only one who has the same instinct roaring behind her eyes that Tony does. And he looks at her one night and he's like, "You're like me. Nothing gets by you."
It's true.
Yeah.
They are. And like it's absolutely true. And it's like the Meadow arc is like, and you hear these touching stories of when she, Jamie Lynn Sigler got diagnosed with MS like during the show, like when she was a kid, and basically a young girl, she got diagnosed with it. And I guess before a scene, they're sitting in the chairs, and Gandolfini looks at her and he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't want to talk about it." He's like, "Come on." She tells him. He's like, "Man, but it's like, it's just this like kind of, she talks about it in a way like it's just that's really not. I mean, I get sad thinking about it. Like it's just like, man, like a girl who is, you kind of think you're getting a death sentence at that point, like a young girl, right? Like at top of her career, and he's just there like, "Hey, we'll get through it. It's totally Tony. We'll get through this. We'll do it. It'll be fine." Even like Tony does that to people he's going to kill. "We'll get through this. It's going to be okay."
Matthew Bevilacqua, "Do you want a Coke? You sure you want a Diet Coke? You sure you don't want one?"
This will be the last fucking thing you ever drink. Oh man, that's a great scene. But like with Adrienne too, with Tony, that's another one that's great. The dichotomy, because Chris is like the true son, the true heir, but the true heir is a junkie, right?
Yeah.
And he's not. He's marriage related, not blood related, but marriage relation does seem to matter in the family. Like it does seem to work in a way. And Chris, when Tony's like kind of close to fucking Adrienne, like he's pretty close. Like it
would have happened if someone hadn't walked through. Yeah, it would have happened.
When they get in the car accident together, I have a feeling that was going to happen.
Yes, it would have only ended up one way.
Would have only ended up one way, but he basically, like, Tony has this like final boss mentality where it's like, actually everything runs through me, including your marriage. I can fuck her if I want to, and guess what? We're gonna kill her too. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like it's that part's kind of crazy when they give her up. I mean, it is the reveal of all reveal. I mean, it's Silvio, right? I should have said that's the third time Silvio freaks out. He doesn't freak out. It's all planned. But like he's driving. Oh, Chrissy's all right. They send Silvio because
no one would expect him.
Exactly. Yeah. Tony's cunning. He's a smart guy. He knows his roster really well. He's a coach. He's John Madden to me. Like, he's just this big, like SWAT, like big swarthy.
Well, even when he's dreaming about his former coach in high school, and the coach was, one of the themes that ran through that comes up through the early seasons is the coach was saying that, "I believe you could be a leader. I believe in you."
Yeah.
And Tony doesn't hear it that way. He's like, "This guy's just trying to butter me up. He's just trying to kiss my ass to get me to do what he wants me to do."
And
that's exactly what he becomes.
That's a great segue into Junior Soprano.
Oh.
Because my dad's all-time favorite line from Sopranos, we're a sports family. You were never a varsity athlete. Never had the makings for a varsity athlete, which that is a complete foil with the coach.
Yep.
Which you think of Lou Reed, Coney Island baby, a little bit, like just this kind of like football. Football was my normie thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was my, even Barone Sanitation's mobbed up. Football was this, like, when he sees Eric Mangini, the coach of the Jets at the place, he gets all excited. They're Italian coach of the Jets. Oh my gosh, like this like. Football was this pure thing. AJ's playing football. It's the one time he's proud of AJ.
Yeah.
It's people laugh at stuff like that, but it's kind of true. I don't want to paint a bad picture of my dad, because my dad's I love, like, we have a great relationship. I'm just saying I've loved sports since birth. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a sports guy. Like, it's what we talk about when we talk.
It's the bond.
It's the copper wire
Yes.
that's connecting us to, you know what I mean? The conduit in a sense, like that we always have. Obviously, he loves me. Obviously, I love him. But like, there's this. But AJ has no interest in that. He doesn't want to watch the fucking Jet game. You know, he does sometimes. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with Devin. I'm gonna go do this and that." Like.
Well, he he makes an honest effort with the football, but then when responsibility gets placed on his shoulders, he has a panic attack on the field, and he passes out.
I know, which is also another sad thing. I don't have kids, but seeing your flaws
Yeah.
in a kid it's got to be rough where you're like, fuck, he got that too. Fuck.
Well, again, I mean, he literally says, this kid has got my rotten fucking genes.
The Sopranos curse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does say that. But Junior, man, I mean, we got to give Junior his time. Junior
absolutely.
is... So Junior, like, if you were to like have a clipboard and grade him like a teacher, he sucks, right? Like, he kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But he's fucking awesome, though. I mean, the comedic timing of Dominic Chianese is like, you figure you're trying to like keep your show afloat, you know, if you're David Chase, and you can launder so many great lines in Dominic Chianese, and just the like the old girlfriends. I mean, the scene where Tony goes sees his dad's old Gumar.
Oh my God! Yes.
And she's and Junior goes, oh, the legs on her. I wish I had the guts.
Yep.
To talk to her or something. And she goes, yeah, he stalked me. He was a
freak. He was calling me at weird hours, and he was hanging around outside my window.
And
yeah.
She was like blowing JFK.
Yeah. A 2-minute. Now I read James Ellroy. I can never think of JFK in the same way ever again. It's forever tarnished in my mind.
Yeah, you want to talk about true right-wing fiction?
Yeah.
masterpiece. Yeah, you got to read Libra, by the way. I'm not. It's
okay.
Not the same. I don't think you'll like it as much. I'm not going to say it's better, but it's a good. I'm glad I read both. You know, like, that's the way I think about it. But yeah, for DeLillo. But yeah, Junior is. Junior's kind of a Pauly in a way. When you think about it, no wife, no kids.
Yep.
Kind of no reason to progress.
Yep.
He gets appointed boss after Jackie Aprile dies in season 1. Side note, Jackie Aprile, what is the actor's name? He's actually good. He's in a lot of things. Gosh, I can't remember. Something. Italian guy. He's in a lot of movies, but he was read for Tony Soprano, and he had lost 3 other parts to James Gandolfini.
Michael Rispoli, thank you. Yeah.
Knew it ended in a vowel, but
yes,
yeah, his interview on Talking Sopranos is fantastic. By the way, he's same voice. He's just Jackie Aprile, great, just a bro, you know. Like, and he had lost 3 parts to James Gandolfini already.
Oh, that's got to be painful.
So he knows, like, all right, I think I might get this, and then he's like, James Gandolfini's like, fuck.
I mean, was it that much better of a reading?
That's the thing is, it couldn't have been because they gave you a character. That's the thing is, like, I bet you a lot of people stood out. They just weren't the character. And it sucks on TV, especially on mob show. It's like, okay, I appreciate you saying that I'm good enough to stay on the show. You might kill me in 2 episodes.
This is true.
Yeah, which Jackie doesn't die by the bullet. That's cancer.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few characters with who dies in bed as opposed to violently. So.
Right. Which is, it's like more brutal to all the people to watch. It's like when people get gunned down, they're like, I
get it.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
But cancer, they're always like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know that's a gif when Chris gets shot. The how could this happen? But it's funny. But Junior Soprano is like a Pauly in a sense, and him and Pauly are so alike when you think about it. They're both very funny. Both have the one-liners. I mean, Junior's in another league. I mean, he is easily the funniest person in the show. I mean, it's actually really sad when he gets Alzheimer's because you're not going to get anything funny out of it anymore.
He just becomes pathetic. Yeah,
it's not funny. You're like, wow, there's no more comedy with Junior. And when he has no teeth at the end, you're like, oh,
it's too real. It's like, oh, I've seen this.
Because with Pauly, I was like, fucking kill him this last time. I was like, I wish you just splattered his brains on the wall on the Tony Napoleon picture. like literally.
That would have been an interesting ending. Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't. It's just my emotions, they were there.
Sure.
With Junior, you're like, I still love this guy. I still love him. He's so funny. He's so fucking funny. I mean, him and Bobby, it is just like they could have had a radio show together.
Oh yeah, the two. Yeah, I mean that their interaction, that is comedy. It's Mutt and Jeff,
The garbage disposal thing is just,
Oh yeah,
all
his
these
hand
things.
stuck down the garbage disposal for.
Yeah, it's just hysterical. I mean, like Bobby is so. And what Dominic Chianise's advice to Steven Sherpa, by the way, was really funny. He said, "Use your gut," and he's like, literally, use your gut. Your gut is funny. You're fat, basically. Like you're a fat guy in comedy. It's automatically funny, whatever you say. Jonah Hill is a testament. Jonah Hill loses weight, he's not funny anymore.
This is bizarrely true, and it's so true for
Bobby
Bacala. Yeah,
can you imagine if Chris Farley went on Ozempic?
wouldn't have worked.
He's terrible.
Wouldn't work. Yeah, I mean, if Bobby Bacala shows up to save Paulie and Chris from the Pine Barrens, and he's in the camouflage, but he doesn't have this enormous gut through the orange vest, it would not work. It would not be funny.
I know.
The fact that he rolls up like Santa Claus with his Elmer Fudd hat, so good.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, you have but yeah, Junior, I mean, he's a tragic case, but it's going to end that way. But again, instead of the quick death that a lot of people get as a mercy thing, Junior dies a slow death. Like Michel Houellebecq in his novels, if somebody is perfect, they get the golden retriever treatment, where they die way too soon.
Right.
And Junior's not perfect, but I just mean when somebody is not liked,
right,
they die of like horrible stomach cancer where their ass is like replaced. They have like
I was going to say their ass rots out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's just like it's this thing, and it's sad because Tony's like, fuck him, he's dead to me. But in the back of his mind, every time it's like, I wonder how he's doing. Is he all right?
He still loves him.
Yeah, of course.
He loves him.
His dad's brother. They played catch as a kid. They used to play catch as a kid, and those vaccines are awesome. With that, so let's talk Janice. Janice is a big deal. I will say this: I think Janice would like RC. That's the sad part about Janice.
She would be. Oh, you know what? She would fit in because she would be a California crunchy granola mom, anti-vaxxer who would get into all of this for like the wrong reasons and still wind up being directionally correct.
And then, but then lip parting out super hard over like.
Yes. No, she would go nuts over Epstein. I think that would be her.
Just like any sort of sex panic.
Yes.
Like that, and then you'd be like, "Damn it, I'm unsubscribing from your Substack."
Yep.
Janice Soprano.
Janice the Panickin. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved your COVID protocol, but I didn't like your subsequent article about Sabrina Carpenter's album cover.
So true.
Yeah, it's that's the thing, and she, I mean, she comes from a great acting family, the Turturros.
Yes.
She's another person that is overweight and uses it to her advantage as a character. I love that she was a huge slut. I
love the Rolling Stone tattoo, placed right on her breast.
One of the greatest episodes is when they go to the cabin with Bobby and Janice.
Yes. Oh yeah, that beautiful lake house.
I mean, it's a huge episode. Bobby pops his cherry.
Yes.
With the Montreal guys.
Yes.
And after that great scene in the boat, he's like, "Your dad was a fucking beast." And Tony put his dad out like a savage, basically. Sal Bacala. We're driving into the pole and dying, which, to be honest, not terrible.
No, he went out. He actually had a good death, so far as all these people are concerned.
Yeah. No, you're right. So again, you're like, well, the cancer was going to destroy him. So it's not the worst thing in the world. And he didn't kill himself. So St. Peter might have a tough time. He might weigh things out a little bit. Yeah. And then with Bobby, Bobby is like this, like kind of child the whole time, and he finally becomes like a man. Even though he's not a kid, he's a good dad. He's a man who makes his money and stuff. But He's kind of this innocent child, but then Tony's constantly reminding people of the pecking order.
Yeah.
Where he's like, no, I get to call your wife, my sister, a slut in front of you. I get to do that. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even though, I don't know, if Chris Moltisanti, who's Carmella's cousin, called Carmella a whore,
Wouldn't work.
wouldn't work. So Bobby, when he beat him, Bobby beats the shit out of Tony.
He does. Well, to be fair, they're all very drunk. I think Tony is,
I know, but
Tony's tanked.
I do think Bobby is tactical. Bobby is a tactical shooting range glasses guy.
Well, he's a marksman, as
Yeah,
he says before he shoots that rapper in the ass. He's like, "It's okay, I'm a marksman."
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I will say, like, Bobby is that like tactical guy who, like, it reminds me of when Artie loans money to the Frenchman,
Yes. Yep.
and then the French guy beats his ass.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
You ripped the hearing right out of Artie.
He's such a lol cow, dude. Like, it's just like he's just one of those guys you would just quote tweet or something, like, and just like fucking idiot. Like, I love Artie, but it's just, anyways. With Janice, Janice has this like meadow like female dependency on Tony, where she's like, fuck you, I don't need you, but you are my emergency contact.
And Tony comes through every single time.
Richie April.
Yeah.
Richie April, an absolute disgusting satanic villain.
Don't shine those Manson lamps on me. What does Tony say to him?
Yeah. Or when Richie's first dating Janice and Tony says, "There's better looking guys in the can than my sister. What are you doing?" I love that. And he's just her Rolling Stones tattoo is such a good affect.
Oh, it's so perfect
because it survives every Janice rebrand.
Yes.
Every Janice rebrand, there's the Rolling Stone tattoo. She has to constantly show her like fat girl titties all the time.
Yes.
Like, so that's there every time.
It's so true. It's like perfectly placed and perfectly trashy, and it betrays every good sentiment that she expresses throughout the show.
Yeah, it kills me when she's dating the narcoleptic guy.
Have you heard the good news?
Yeah. You told me last week. So good. I think it was Jackie April Jr. who said that. Like when Jackie.
Yeah, we met last week. Yeah.
Because you did. I did last week. Yeah, thank you. Side note: my mom's favorite line of Sopranos is Jackie April when he's talking to Meadow in the car when they're first about to hook up, and he's like, "That's chemistry, man. It's tough, nucleotides and shit."
Just so good.
Yeah,
I like when they're playing Scrabble and he's like poop, fart. Ass.
Yeah, just an absolute kid that's about to get slaughtered the whole time. Yeah, like there's just this like guillotine hanging over Jackie April Jr.'s head the entire show. They're just really funny.
No, he's another funny cat. That's like I think if you're too young, like when I first watched the show, the level of humor in it went over my head in many cases because you're just kind of shocked by the violence and how brutal people are to each other.
Things happening. Things happening.
Yes. And then, but it really is like one of the best comedies ever put on television. Yeah.
So was Goodfellas too. Like I love mob movies.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the two more things we got to talk about here.
Let's do it.
Vito Spatafor, which I think we can talk about Phil in this too, because you have to. Vito Spatafor, who it's really funny. Do you know the first scene that Joseph Ganascoli is in?
Refresh my memory.
He is not Vito Spatafor in The Sopranos in his first scene. He actually plays an extra who is in the shop when Chris Moltisanti, and I believe it's season 2, Chris Moltisanti goes to that bakery where the guy is like...
Yes, he waddles up and he's coming up to get his Fuyadel or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it was tripping me out because on a rewatch, I'm like, why is he kicking Vito out of the store, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Vito could see that. That's like, he's a mobster.
Right.
Like Vito could absolutely be there for that. They would talk, like, if he was there. I think Vito just stuck around. They did this with Sopranos, these open casting call things. Ginny Sack is an open casting call. They made an open casting call in like season 3 of Sopranos. And so Ginny Sack, they had to shut Jersey down. The line was around the block. It was blocking streets. And you had all these guys like, oh, my mobster shtick. I'm going to get on Sopranos. All these, I'm not going to say the W word, but, Italian guys. And they're just these guys. Like,
wops.
I want to get in. I want to get in there. You can say it. Yeah.
I can.
They were like just these guys, greaseball. My grandpa taught me all the words. They were, but Ginny Sack actually got an open casting call. Which is a genius thing, because was Johnny's wife always supposed to be fat? I don't know if that was the case, but it makes it so great that it was. It
worked, and it totally worked for the show's advantage.
He can't have like a Silvio like trophy wife cougar, like he can't. Like it doesn't make sense. But anyways, Vito, man, I mean, he is a great earner. That's one thing we can say about Vito is he makes a lot of money.
After Ralph, he steps in and he takes over that spot.
It's brought up every time.
Yeah.
Now, Vito is a homosexual. He loves firemen. He likes mustache guys. He's really he's really into a certain type of guy.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, no, that's not true, because Finn and the fireman guy are not really the same guy. So that's he
contains multitudes within his girth.
Yeah, that's correct. But he was big in the construction industry. All those fake lawn chair jobs, show up jobs thing, which are essential to mob work and mob rule, and is these fake show up jobs where everyone draws a pension from and splits that up. He's in charge of that. Now, Vito gets caught by Meadows' boyfriend, who is given a job at the construction site for the Esplanade. I can't remember what they're building. Doesn't matter. But he's and it's funny too. This is such a guy thing. When Finn finally spills the beans, and they're like, "Yeah, I caught Vito was doing oral sex with the guy." And they're like, "Oh, he's getting his dick sucked by the security guard." They're like, "Nah, he was sucking the security guard's dick." And they're like, "Whoa!" Yeah. Everyone's like, Howard Stern used to have a bit. Howard Stern is a complete loser now, but Howard Stern used to have a very funny bit about pedophilia. So, like, there would be let's say, like, PE teacher caught for child molestation in New Jersey or something, and they go, "Okay." And they go, and it was the PE teacher molested, 10-year-old girls. They go, "Oh, thank God he wasn't gay." Like, that's what Howard said. "Oh, thank God." Yeah, like it would always do that every time.
Right.
This is a guy who won't touch the same countertop as me right now.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
The real
old Jewish guys. COVID was rough for old Jewish guys.
Broke their brains.
It's rough. It's rough. The hypochondriac old Jewish guy is rough. But the Vito, the whole, I guess the town that he disappeared in is where David Chase is from.
Do you know where that actually is?
It's some New Jersey town. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the area well enough. So, but it's in the. He says it at the beginning of the thing, the documentary. Is like, and that's where Vito hid out at, is my New Jersey.
That's so funny. I mean, Jersey is a beautiful state.
That might have been New Hampshire. So I can't remember. It's one of those things where Vito is like this killer. I mean, Vito kills Jackie Aprile Jr.
Yeah, he waddles up behind him and pops him in the head.
If he was like, "Hey, while I'm here," but good looking kid. Yeah, but. I was when you think about that, you're like, actually, he kills Jackie Aprile Jr. He's kind of this like in the background fat guy.
Yeah.
Time. Nobody's really, you don't think about him, but he's constantly around. You're like, why haven't they killed this guy yet? They give him one of the best plot lines in the history of TV, if not where
it's so good.
He's gay, and Tony. So with Tony, he doesn't care anything about Vito, but Vito is his top earner. and everybody's like, Tony, back in the day, what would Johnny Boy do? What would your dad Johnny Boy do? He would have killed him, which is true. Like this is true. Back in the 100% back in the day, they kill that guy immediately. They slice him up at Satrial's. Like it's
because he could have been blackmailed.
Exactly.
Above and beyond the homophobia, there would be a thing that someone could hold over this guy's head,
James Elroy style.
Exactly, that would make him flip. So
you're right. It's just like being a junkie.
Yep.
But for penis. And that's at the end of the day.
Same thing.
My lighting's bad. I'm doing the witness protection program right now, but yeah, I'm not. But it just does look like that. But he tells Vito, you're right. Like there is like other implications. Like there's optics, obviously. Yeah. Like you guys have a fag in your crew. Like we can't have this. And the stuff they say is insane. Like, and it's so funny to hear the Sopranos people justify it. It's like, dude, guys, you don't have to.
It's a good story.
All of these people would hate that. They don't like black people. They don't like anything that's not an Italian person.
Yes.
Everybody else is a pawn. Everybody else is used as either a hole for sex or money or just like a person, an NPC person. Like they don't value anything other than themselves. They're obviously not going to like a gay person. Like it's like they keep well, and this was a different time. I'm like, mobsters now wouldn't like it.
No,
I don't know if there is a mob now, but if there was, yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there is one. It's not an Irish one.
We don't talk about it. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe they are gay. I don't know. They could be.
They're all gay.
They could adjust with the times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, you don't know if that's the case. But with Vito, he's on the run, and he's married to Phil Leotardo's cousin, and Phil Leotardo is Terminator.
Yep.
He had zero soul. So when you talk about the adversaries of Tony Soprano, it's like the Mortal Kombat ladder. It's like he's Goro, like he's the guy with 8 arms because he doesn't give a fuck. Phil really doesn't have a weakness.
He's legitimately an old school hard ass gangster without the weaknesses of all the others that Tony one by one exploits until they're either back in jail or dead.
And he's Billy Bats from Goodfellas. First off,
get your fucking shine box.
Legend. Frank Vincent, R.I.P. He's a legend.
Oh man.
But he looks with his gray hair. They even make a reference to it.
Shav Iran.
He totally looks Middle Eastern in the show the whole time. He totally looks like a Middle Eastern like number runner guy too, like a total just scammer Middle Eastern like business owner guy. It's like we have a lot of those guys out here. And like we have an outdoor shopping mall called Santana Row that's full of like departments, like nice stores and fancy stores. It's just full of Phil Leotardos.
Just a bunch of Armenians.
Phil Leotardos and like 28-year-old girls with them. Like it's just that's like the whole thing is full of that silk shirts, everything. But Phil is like this. He is the final bot because you have Richie Aprile, who's just Richie Aprile is menacing, but I don't know how smart he actually is. Ralph Cifaretto, definitely not. He's just not going to like he's not going to prove himself to be a true adversary. And then you have Phil, who is this New York guy who's been just waiting for his moment. So Johnny Sack goes to the can. He's not getting out, and he's sick too. So regardless, he's not living out that sentence. By the way, Johnny Sack's his character was originally supposed to be 71 years old.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's funny when they're talking about his sentence. They'll be like, "Yeah, you'll be 72 when you get out," and it's like they adjusted the age of the character. Oh. I think they meant to kill him off a lot earlier, to be honest.
He looked terrible. So yeah, I would have bought.
I think they meant to have him last the season, but he was so damn good that
I'm glad they kept him. Yeah,
we have to. We'll just make him a 58-year-old guy, which is probably more what he looked like. But Phil, is that's what's also too is like, a lot of people's age is like really ambiguous in this. Like they just like that guy's got gray hair, he's old. That's kind of like the way you look
you know.
Sopranos. The girls too, like you get the idea. Gloria Trillo, she's older, right? Like she's, you know, you'd post the egg carton meme to her,
Yeah.
but like some of the other girls, like you get the idea. That Russian first one, I forget her name, but
Irina.
Yeah, she's probably like 22.
Yeah.
Like her character and stuff, but otherwise, like age is very ambiguous in Sopranos. But Phil is just this like, I don't know how we're gonna get out of this. Like this guy's a freak. He doesn't have a vice. He's not a drug guy.
Right.
He's got a Gumar, which they kill the wrong guy trying to kill him, which that was sad actually. They killed the wrong, but like other than that, he doesn't really have any like one place he goes too often. Doesn't have any of these things. And Phil's, he probably always wanted to get rid of Tony in the same way that you want to get rid of the bug, the spider that's on the wall, and you're like, it's in a weird corner, so right now I'll leave it there. But if that thing comes anywhere near me, I'll kill it. That's basically Phil's view of Tony.
Yeah, well, he looks at that Jersey thing, that weird, it's a half-baked crew. They shit on
glorified crew.
Yes, and Phil is old school, and he's got a legitimate grievance in that his brother gets shot in front of him,
by Tony Blundetto, and now we know Tony gets killed. Tony Blundetto gets killed in a. It's a beautifully filmed scene when Tony comes out with the gun. It's like No Country for Old Men level coldness to it, like this like shooting a deer. You know,
that's a great way to put
it. Like the inconsequential but very consequential way of killing Tony. But Phil's like, I told you I want him.
You robbed me.
Now with Vito, Tony is hiding Vito.
Yeah,
because he's gay, and Phil is like, "I'm sorry, this is fucking embarrassing. Like my cousin is married to him. Let me just destroy this fucking guy, Tony. Why are you hiding him from me? I know you know where he is." And after a while, when Phil does kill Vito, he comes out of a closet to kill him.
Sad.
Coming out of a closet to kill Vito is hilarious, by the way.
It's funny.
And one of the best lines, this is why I love Chris so much, because he kills me. Other than Junior, he's the second funniest guy in the show. When they break the news of Vito dying, which everybody's secretly very relieved by, and Tony's the only guy who's really kind of like, fuck, my earner, right? And he's always like, hey, you guys need to step up. The only reason I'm not want to kill him is because you guys suck, basically. Mm-hmm. And when Vito's found, because they found you don't see him really kill Vito. You don't see Phil kill him. No. You don't need to. But you know Phil's going to make it hurt. It's going to be Guantanamo Bay. It's going to be bad. And they read the story to him, and it's another guy that they kill, right? It's this other New York guy that comes by, and they kill him because he's like, oh, this fucking fag and all that stuff. And like, it makes it look, the Jersey crew look bad, so they kill him. Silvio and I believe the guy who ends up ratting at the end, I can't remember what his name is. Who am I thinking of? The old guy who's like gonna testify at the end, his son, because of his son and stuff.
Yes, it'll come to me.
He's always cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Nonetheless, they kill him. But the guy was saying, he goes, yeah, they found a pool. I think Bobby actually delivers the news, and Bobby's like, yeah, they found a pool cue of his ass.
Yep.
Been killed in a hotel room, and it's silent for like 10 seconds, which in real time is like 3 minutes. And Chris goes, you think it was a lover's quarrel? That killed me. I haven't laughed that hard at anything that was ever labeled comedy before. A lover's quarrel. Chris is writing movies, so he like knows these like movie terms. It's one of the funniest things that's ever said in the show. And yeah, you think it was a lover's quarrel?
To deliver.
I hate knowing who Michael Imperioli is. I fucking hate it because he's, even in White Lotus, he's phenomenal. Like, you're just like, God, he's so good.
I just want him to be that guy. Yeah, and poor Spider getting his foot shot off. But yeah, such comedy delivered up against such tragedy and such horror,
Did you know that
So good.
he did tell a funny story, Michael Imperial, about he after Goodfellas, he's in Goodfellas, but his part probably didn't pay that much, so he was still like waiting tables.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So many people were like making spider jokes, like waiting table. He was like, I wanted to kill myself.
I wouldn't have blamed him.
Yeah,
at that
it's
point.
like that's terrible because it's like you're literally waiting. You're doing the job
Yeah.
which is a common actor job, but like it's just like, of course, like the shoot him in the foot, the Joe Pesci just going crazy on him. But yeah,
So funny.
Oh god, it killed me. But Vito dies that way. But everybody's got to deal with the after effects where everybody reaches out to his son. And whenever somebody dies in The Sopranos, they pretend they're going to take care of the family, and they really never
nothing
do.
happens.
Angie Pomponsero gets the body shop.
She's like the lone exception who actually makes it work.
And even then, she had to really grind it out to make that thing work. And so like it's really funny, and so it cracks me up. But that's when the show really ramps up into all-out warfare. Iraq War essentially, like, is how the rest of the show goes. Anybody's up for grabs. And what's different from this show and the show like Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones loves to be like, we can kill anybody at any moment.
Yeah.
Which I love that show. I watched it. It was great. I thought the last season was ass cheeks, but I did like the show.
Pretend the last season doesn't exist.
Yeah, the last season was awful. But I did like the show. However, Sopranos is so much more powerful because the people survive, and you're like, well, I got 3 episodes left. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Blood rains. It is absolute oil painting warfare of biblical proportions, just in Old Testament slaughtering of people. Bobby, who, a sneaky thing that I didn't notice in any of the other rewatches I had is when Janice goes to Tony to whine about how Bobby doesn't make enough money for like the last time when she brings the kid in the stroller, the sad, she's all concerned. She's like a politician. She knows exactly what's going to tug on heartstrings. And she's like, Bobby needs to make more money. And he's like, well, fuck you, basically, is what Tony says to her. Meanwhile, Bobby's going to buy a like $25,000 train set.
Yep.
He gets killed. Man. And it's sad because you love Bobby. He gets absolutely destroyed. He gets shot like 20 times. It's like insane. Big guy. You got to take him down.
I was going to say, he's got a lot of padding. You got to
take down the big guy. And not a bad gig for Steven Sherpa. That's a good way to bet on yourself. He was a Vegas club promoter making, like, he was saying he was making like $165 a year back in the 90s. Making money.
That's good.
Yeah. Booking big.
Damn, son. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, this is a big risk to take.
Yeah.
Already had kids, too, so it's not like he was like, oh, it's just me, though. I'll go take a risk.
Yeah.
No, like, he went and did that. So he lasted. I mean, when you're talking about, he doesn't last through the show. Acting-wise, he lasts. He had a job for that long. Gets absolutely destroyed. The time speeds up. Janice gets, like, no time to mourn him before the show's over. It's, like, hardly anything. And then just raining blood. Phil Leotardo's basically like, let's kill the bugs. Let's kill the bugs. And he just, poor Silvio, gets absolutely just get lit up. Paulie's exempt, which is funny because he probably should die, but he doesn't.
He's kind of he's one of the major reasons for all this happening.
It's true. The Johnny Sack thing back in the day. Yeah. He was the one. His brother or cousin, little Paulie, was the one who, did. I mean, at the end of the day, I think something else would have come up for sure. That would have started a war. I think at the end of the day, New York's always had this vendetta, or not vendetta, because that would imply they were equals. This kind of hatred, but yeah, maybe they would have. New Jersey's Jersey, leave them alone. But after a while, there's an imperialistic tendency, I think, where it's like, well, what if we just took over Jersey? I think it happens one way or another, but you're right. Paulie kind of does.
He gives him a reason.
He gives him a reason. Because Paulie was going to flip to Johnny Sack's crew. He was going to.
He desperately wanted to, and got thrown back in his face. And Carmine's like, "Who are you?" But anyway, yeah.
So Phil gets his though, and Phil gets his in one of the most glorious ways. I mean, he gets shot in the head when he's saying hi to his grandkids. It's the most human you ever see Phil, by the way, is when he's say bye to grandma, and his last words to his wife are arguing too. So it's like they make everything terrible for Phil. So it's a very satisfying death. So when people say they hate the ending of Sopranos, that's actually the ending of Sopranos, by the way, in my opinion, because they kill Phil. Now that being said, and he gets run over, the car's in drive, and he gets his head splattered. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I was going to say that's that's the.
It's very satisfying. It's very oddly satisfying. It's like when you watch somebody grate cheese perfectly. It's like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And the ending. So let's real fast talk about what Tony's up against. Tony's up against. So Phil's dead, but like other, there's other people that are going to chase after you.
Right. There's other problems.
It's not over. You're not in the castle with the princess. It's never ending. And he's also finds out that why I can't remember this guy's name. It's bothering the hell out of me. The guy who's going to rat basically, because his son Jason, who I know his son's name Jason, got pinched for like a minor drug thing, but it's basically this guy's not about that life. His dad's going to give up Tony in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony's kind of like, something's going to happen. I don't know what. Am I going to die? Am I going to go to jail or something? They got to split up for a little bit. It happens once every couple of seasons where you got to empty out the floorboards, empty out the ceiling, empty out the guns, empty out the cash, do everything.
Get out of town.
It's not Agent Harris anymore, but Agent Harris is actually the guy to Agent Harris comes out as a hero a little bit, kind of gives up Phil Leotardo in a way, in a roundabout way that won't implicate him. And then also kind of tells him like, hey, that thing's going to get picked up again against you. And because they found somebody that's going to give you up. So the final scene of Sopranos, which I lived today. By the way, I'm so glad this came out as well as it did. All things considered, you guys don't know the behind the scenes stuff. I was struggling today. But they're at a diner. We're supposed to believe it's a diner that they all like. We never see them at ever, but whatever. It's the diner they love. It appears that they're able to do this, but everyone's still looking over their shoulder. I think it's brilliantly filmed where Tony gets to the diner first and scopes the place out. If it was all bad, he could say, nope, no, this is not the place. However, every NPC type person could be the killer.
Suspicious.
This guy wearing a members only jacket.
Yeah.
In there, which is not nothing. And you have it's a nail biting level of mundanity of just these average Meadow trying to parallel park.
Yes.
Carmela pulling in.
Yes.
Gets in after his car explodes. Which they make this big thing out of this artful thing, which I didn't get. Where in the first episode the barbecue explodes, and then AJ's Xterra explodes, and that's supposed to be this link between him and Tony. I don't see that at all, but neither here nor there. The ending pisses a lot of people off. My mom hates it. I still talk to her.
Understandable.
Because I don't think it's understandable at all. I think it ends perfectly. Do you want to see Tony die?
No.
Do you want to see Tony in jail?
No. Nobody does.
So what do you want? You. This is.
I know you. Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're posing it to the audience at home, and I agree with you.
We love Tony Soprano.
It would be. I mean, yeah, it just would have that wouldn't have been a very satisfying ending if they killed him. It would have been satisfying in that you have some closure and that okay, the story's over, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that elevates that ending to the mythic that sticks in everyone's craw 20 plus years on is that you're denied that final closing of the book. And and that open loop sticks in the back of your head forever because like the best pictures, you're able to insert yourself. There's room to live in that moment when you hear the doorbell ring, ding, 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 he
Yeah.
looks up, screen goes black.
And it's
Right.
and it's one of those things where you could watch the finale 80 times in a row, Clockwork Orange, eyelids held open. You'll never get the beat right when it cuts to black.
Oh,
And you'll never get it right. It is the cut to black is the most unsatisfying part, I think, to a lot of people, is that we have no rhythm or tempo to show that where that's happening. But I will say, I don't think Tony was meant to die in that restaurant.
so what is your speculation?
I think he goes to jail eventually.
You think that he would have gotten popped in that last scene?
He would have gotten popped. See, and that's another thing. I don't want to see him snitch, even though he might have.
God, I don't know that he would.
Again, he might Johnny Sack and just die in jail. And
Yeah.
I don't see that. What I mean is, like, I'm team Tony Soprano. So, like, I think the people that hate Tony Soprano hate the ending.
Hmm.
And I think people that love Tony Soprano might feel a little unsatisfied, but that's our golden boy.
Yeah.
We don't want to see it. It's more of it's people trying to scrub themselves of the filth of the show that want to see him in handcuffs or dead. I'm like, you would hate the ending if he died. I'm telling you. And like Breaking Bad did this a little bit, where Walter dies, and it's like, okay, that worked. Don't get me wrong, it worked. They did it artfully.
Yeah.
But I like the Sopranos in this. Like, look, life goes on. It's never over.
Mm.
We cut it. It's not over. Tony would have battles after battles after battles that you could think, even if Tony doesn't go to jail, even if he gets off on a technicality like he did on the last Rico case, it would still go on and on and on. It would just be a new guy coming in, new young bloods, new this, that. It would be this Dante's hell loop.
I mean, could you imagine? So James Gandolfini at that time and Tony Soprano would have been early or mid 40s when the show ended, because he wasn't that old, So all right, 20 years on,
Yeah,
he's in his 60s, right? Can you imagine that character today?
No.
It's like what. I don't know. A heart attack would have gotten him either way, I think.
Right. Again, I don't want to see that. So it's like all these things, any outcome you tell me, I'm like, I would hate to watch that happen.
Yeah. So the fact that it ended the way that it did on just the book is never closed.
It's never over.
Perfect.
Michel Houellebecq's Possibility of an Island, man. The guy goes through hell and back, kills himself and uploads himself into a cloud service thing. And what does he do? He's like, hey, what's over there? I'll just keep going. And it's just kind of like, that's kind of what happens here.
Mm.
And again, you can insert, I understand. I don't think it's a cop-out the way a lot of people think open-ended stuff is. I don't.
No.
I'm just trying to think of literally anything you can think of happening in that scene or post that scene. I don't want to see.
Did they shoot multiple endings?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because this may be apocryphal, but I seem to remember reading that Gandolfini and Lorraine Bracco watched it when it aired, because I don't know that either of them. You're filming a show, you don't actually know what it's going to look like. Yeah. And both of them were like, "What the fuck?" when it finally aired.
Yeah, because what if they shot a death scene for Tony and he's like, "Wait, I didn't die?" Like,
yeah, like what the fuck,
Yeah, it's true.
Imagine him saying that as Tony said, "What the fuck?" Watching the television.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's the perfect television show, and the fact that it has reached across every. You don't have to be from Jersey. You don't have to be from New York. You don't have to be Italian to enjoy it and to soak up all of the beauty and the interest and the themes that are there. And it is just such a testament to serendipity and the power of a single person's vision for a story and the collaborative magic that happens when you get, God's hands descending on a cast, crew, set, and storyline to craft something that just is truly golden and truly timeless and beautiful and enjoyable in perpetuity. And people are going to be watching this for hundreds of years,
Yes.
and extolling it as truly great storytelling.
If I'm lucky enough to live as long as the average American life expectancy, I'll probably watch this 5 more times.
At least.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm, there's so much we didn't cover, there's so much we didn't cover, but it's like,
yeah,
you gotta watch it. Pie oh my, all these plot lines. There's all these things that happen. It's never boring. It's never dull. It's incredible. Watch it. Get a HBO Max subscription. You will pay for it itself.
Yes.
Watch this. Yeah. Straight up. Like it's incredible. So Vincent, I can't thank you enough for something as impromptu as this. I thought we really, I don't know if anybody's talked about it, because I hate the whole and the cast and the showrunner. It's like, no, these are characters, man. These guys are fucking, they deserve their own time. And we talked about these people as characters, which I love. Yeah, so that's good. Please follow all the links will be in the description. Follow him on Instagram. I know that's where you do most of your social media work and stuff there too, and get some paintings from them. They're fantastic paintings. I still want the Howard Rourke one, man, dude. You gotta make the Howard. Your style is perfect for a Rand Howard Rourke.
I would love to do. That's cooking. I would love to do something in the vein of the Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged. Yeah. So, for sure.
So, guys. And then, like I said, he was on the Henry Miller Tropic of Cancer episode. That's available for premium subscribers at rarecandy.substack.com. Another excellent episode there. So, on that note, guys, everybody have a safe week, and we'll catch you guys next time.